And we are back. Couch Company Podcast. My name is John, and with me, as always, Tyler.
Hey, John.
I just keep jamming out every time.
No, that's okay.
Tyler told me that he only plays the music in the beginning because it hypes me up.
It's just for you.
Yeah.
It's been locked and loaded in the computer since last week.
That blew my mind. I was like, we have to have that, right? Because it's all alive. No, I was completely wrong about that.
I'll tell you what, it does help though, because whenever I'm throwing the tracks in, there's not a lot of editing in the beginning part where I'm just like, oh no, the time, I don't have to fine tune the timing so it fades correctly, because you just do it live. Yeah,
absolutely.
It helps.
No, that's for sure. So I just appreciate Tyler's friendship and
oh, thanks, man.
Being aware of my needs.
Yeah.
But how are you doing, man? How's this week been for you?
The week has been hectic. Work's been pretty hectic. Wedding planning's been pretty hectic. We're getting to the final stretch.
Yeah,
which is nice. The interesting thing is next weekend, bachelor party.
Bachelor party next weekend.
Did not talk about we're doing for that. So I'm bringing 4 microphones.
Are you really?
I am.
That's fucking awesome.
So hopefully we get at least a guest, if not 2.
Yeah, last time we did that, we ended up talking about the alphabet.
Yep, by ourselves, because no one wanted to do it. So
on the bed.
It's my bachelor party. I'm sure Nate will throw us a bone, or someone will.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to. I mean,
maybe a rotating.
It's for T-Dog. That'd be cool.
If we really thought about it, maybe that's when we start talking about the card game.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I love how we always talk about our ideas live on air.
Yeah.
That's a great place to do it. Workshop.
People. Yeah.
They hear our creative process, man. We get a little peek behind the curtain.
We have a lot of ideas.
We do. Speaking of ideas, I was in the shower today. Are you ready for this?
All right.
This is one of John's ideas.
I'm always ready.
As always, I will be talking about this and slowly come to the realization is that is not as interesting as I once thought it was.
All right, well, hit me.
All right, so I'm going to hit you. So I was in the shower and I was like, man, I really do love throwing money away. And what better way to throw away money than gambling? So I was thinking about gambling, and I've done my research into it. Every game has different advantages for the house versus the player. The best game that you can play at the casino, by the way, just as a little lecture for our audience members. Be responsible, by the way. Kitty glitter, yeah. If you're Tyler, it's $20 in kitty glitter.
Yep.
But if you're anyone else, it is blackjack. If you're playing perfect basic strategy, and by that I mean there's a correct decision to make for every hand you have versus what you can see the dealer has. There's a chart on it.
Are you allowed to bring a chart?
Some places do, yeah.
Okay.
Because the house still has the advantage. So if you do that, the house has about a 0.2% advantage over you. So in the long run, you're still going to lose. But that's as close to 50 you can get without cheating or counting cards or playing poker. I don't think the house hedge has an advantage. I've never played poker at a casino, but I'm pretty sure how it works is your ante goes to the casino. So then you're pretty much just playing against other players.
Yeah, you wouldn't actually be playing against the dealer.
The house,
at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyways, I was thinking about the casino, I'm thinking about all this stuff, and I was like, so what if, there was a game where you just flipped a coin, right? It was just a 50-50. And I was thinking about this because I believe there was this study that was saying that coin flips aren't actually 50-50. They're 51-49 based off of, and I thought it was tails at first, but I actually looked it up for the episode.
I feel like the tails, you mean tails are up?
Yeah, because I thought...
the head's weighting.
Yeah, I thought it was the one side was heavier than the other, but it actually is the case where it is the side that is facing up when it's flipped is more likely to be face up at the end.
Huh.
In a perfect circumstance. So the reason that it's more random when people do it is because... It's not a perfect flip. The rotation can be different, which affects the coin, obviously.
How do you get around that? Do you think it's instead of flipping, you put your finger on a table? You know how you used to flick it as a kid or whatever?
It's amazing you brought that up. They did that study. It's about 80-20 tails on that if you're using a penny.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the tail side is heavier. So that actually...
So it would have to be a special coin. It would have to be...
So this is what I was thinking about. I was like, okay, what if it's a poker chip and then each side is painted a different color? But if we're talking about flipping a coin, right, in a casino, what is any... So I guess my realization was, is anything really 50-50? Is the most minute detail, could that be, it was a very big brain small brain kind of thing. So like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Where does divine intervention happen within that?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, what if there's like a small decimal percentage milligram of paint on the blue side? In the long run, is that going to affect anything in the casino's advantage or disadvantage?
Am I making it up that computers can't actually be truly random?
I have no idea. I would assume they could.
I thought it was something where like computers, like they can simulate random, but they can't actually, like it's still programmed. So like if you're taking,
but
like,
it's not going to be a specific tendency. Like what would the tendency be?
I just think that it's insane to think that you can go into a casino, hit a button on a computer, and be like, oh, I wonder if this random thing is going to like. I refuse to believe that has not been.
I think
rigged.
slots are the fucking.
I could be wrong.
Ever,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like I could be 100% wrong, but I think
it can be random because it's just an equation, right? So it's
that right.
It's gonna be more. It's gonna be more random than like an actual dice roll, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I have no fucking idea.
I was under the impression that computers cannot truly be like
why would that
what
be?
What truly random means, I don't know. I think that it's like if you were to take true random and chaos and put it next to a computer is going to have some sort of
error.
I
don't think so. I think a computer can be random.
At the end of the day, I'm just mad that I lose every time I go to a casino and I just don't go. I don't know.
So I was like reading this other thing where it was like if you're in a line, okay, and it's like there's like spots next to you, okay, and then you flip the coin and like heads you move one spot to the right and tails you move one spot to the left. It's like if you flip an infinite amount of times, you will always get back to your original starting point. Does that seem obvious or is that like crazy?
I mean, if it's a 50-50 coin flip.
Yeah,
51-49.
Well, yeah,
it'd be like one chair over. I don't know.
Do they include that in their analysis?
I don't know if that's odd. Yeah, I mean, I guess that seems sure. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Sense.
It seems pretty weird to me. Anyways, so another thing I was having. This is actually funny you bring this up. So you're like,
wait, real quick for the roulette. So you don't do roulette where
I do roulette.
You just keep doubling your bet. Is that not how you do it? So I read online.
Oh yeah, you'll always win if you do that. But every roulette table has a maximum.
Okay, see, I just ran out of money very quickly.
Oh yeah, you'll need a fucking ton of money to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, but every table has a maximum as well, so you can't do that.
You mean a max you can bet?
Yeah. There's maximum.
So that's how they. Okay. So
well,
again,
yeah, you can't come in and be like, I'd like 10 million on black.
Why?
Let's see if I bankrupt the casino or not.
They're little sissies.
Yeah, I guess so. I really
put your money where your mouth is. I don't know.
There was this one story where this guy sold everything he had, put it all on black, won, and then he was bankrupt in another 3 years. So I think the moral of the story is if you're bad with your money, it does not matter how much you get. Yeah.
No, I would do that. I feel like if I had a casino where it's like, 10 million on black. It's like like the little guy has like a little trigger in the bottom, right? Like, you said black, right?
Can you imagine?
Switch.
No way, dude. Anyway, so I had this theory in high school that like nothing in your brain is random. There's always some sort of influence. Like, so like pick a number right now.
Okay.
Just say
it out loud.
Yeah.
69.
Okay. So,
the top number of the Couch Company
That's
podcast.
pretty easy.
Okay. 84.
Right, but like there must be something in your subconscious that's like getting you to think 84 is like your first. And I'm saying like spontaneous first reaction because I think that's like hard for people sometimes. I don't know if it's just me. It's just like, oh, green, like that's just the first color I thought of.
Okay.
Or whatever the case may be, or like say a word, it's like hippopotamus. Like why? But it's like maybe I don't know, dude. Maybe my friend got like really into this back in the day. We're like, well, maybe you saw the letter H somewhere. Like that's the last letter you saw, and you stored it away in your
psychology for you.
Yeah, I guess, but there's like no way to prove that, right? Like that's just way too crazy.
I mean, I'm sure psychologists would disagree.
Well, like if it's like a color, it's more obvious. It's like, okay, you're wearing a green hoodie. Obviously, I'm going to say green or something. But it's like name or say a word.
Yeah.
You can like pick any word.
So, for instance, you said that, and for whatever reason, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna," and like already, I'm trying to think.
Right.
I think that's the problem. Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you a prompt, and you have to tell me a word. So you're like, say, and I'm like, for whatever reason, my mind immediately went to presidents, and I was like, Howard Taft. Just right there, right? So then it's just oh, I don't know what you mean.
Dude, my go-to is like whenever someone says, "What am I thinking of?" I always say "cow." Yeah, I don't know why. All right. That's my go-to.
Every ink blot looks like a bug. At some point, like it's like the face of an ant or a bat or like some weird thing.
Is that true?
Oh, for me, anytime I look at a blot, like an ink blot, I'm always seeing like some monster, which I'm sure means something.
That means something horrifying, probably.
Whatever.
Name a random element on the periodic table.
Helium.
Ooh.
Is that even an element?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a noble gas. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's weird. I feel like there should be a couple things that make up helium, right?
No.
It's not?
We can look it up if you really want to. I'm pretty sure.
Well, like oxygen.
Yes, that's 2 hydrogens and an oxygen.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Or is it 2 hydrogens and a
carbon?
Carbon.
Yeah.
Wait, what? H2O.
No, that's water.
That's water. What am I talking? What am I talking about? Wait, when am I looking up helium?
I don't even know.
Helium.
I don't even know what oxygen. O2.
Okay. Yeah, helium is atomic number 2. It's on the periodic table. I told you.
Oh yeah, second one right there.
See the Bohr model of helium. Atom up close. Look at that.
We should stop talking about this immediately.
For our listeners, there's a
probably gonna just cut all this out.
Sphere. Yeah, well, you know.
I don't know.
Maybe it'll make it in.
No, I just feel like we should be made up of stuff. I don't know.
Fuck are you talking about? Of course, we're made up of stuff.
No, I know, but like helium just seems too like. There's got to be more to helium. Like
what about like neon?
That's
another noble gas. That's my favorite element on the periodic table.
Element?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's cool. Like the neon lights are cool, and the noble gases are cool, and it's neon, bro. It just sounds cool.
Isn't like
wouldn't neon be a cool gamer tag?
So like why?
Well, neon something. Neon zebra.
Neon zebra.
That's kind of cool.
I rate tapestry is quite a funny name.
That's John's, not mine. Yeah, mine's double belled.
Double belled. Yeah. Like,
what the fuck does that mean?
So zinc and is gold on the periodic table? Like all that stuff? Is that a thing?
Is gold? I'm not sure. Is that carbon?
Yeah, but isn't it like a weird abbreviation? Like iron and everything is there.
Yeah,
like is on there.
Yeah.
It just feels weird. I don't know. Whenever I'm thinking that kind of stuff, I'm thinking like molecule level stuff, not.
Well, molecules
elements.
make up elements.
Yeah, no, I know.
Gold is on the table.
Yeah, but it's 79. Like a weird. Yeah, but what is it like?
AU.
Yeah.
It's like Greek shit or something, I think. And if it's not Greek shit, it's something else. See what I did there?
That is it. It's a 50-50 coin flip.
Description.
Yeah. What are we even talking about?
I don't know, dude. Like my theories sound so profound in my head, and then I say them out loud. It's like, John, what is wrong with
psychology.
You?
I don't know.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, like something is stored in your head.
Yeah.
And you have a bias towards something you're saying. Like, can you actually have a completely random thought?
I think you can have things just pop in your mind, but is it like
it's got to be predicated on something,
right? Yeah, like
past
you're not
experience, something you've seen, a sense, like a sensory effect, a certain smell may obviously like prompts things in your head.
Like you're never going to just think of a person that. Like if I'm like, hey, think of a person, you're gonna think of someone you've seen or communicated to or saw somewhere. It's not gonna just be like you just like a character creator just make up a dude in your head. Or
apparently, I don't know if this is a myth or not, but I thought like you can't make up anyone in your dreams. Like every face you see in your dreams, you've seen somewhere. I'm not sure if that's a myth.
Yeah, that might be. And I think we talked about this, where it's like, yeah, and you also dream in black and white, which is absolutely false.
No, you don't dream in black and white. But can you actually prove that there's a face you've seen in your dream that you haven't seen somewhere else? Usually my dreams, they're like faceless. Like it's very blurry and like it's not very clear.
I always have like you're trying to open your eyes almost. Like you're trying to look up and you can't. And it's like this weird kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, like you're trying to be alert and you can't be alert. Like it's almost like you're trying to wake up into the real world. And this is all just a dream. Yeah.
Anyway, so I wish our brains were like a program, okay? Like C++. And then we could see the script and like work backwards. So John said hippopotamus. Here's why. Because the last thing he saw was this, and that reminded him of that. And there was this experience and blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, that's why he said hippopotamus.
Or are you just trying to think of the hardest word you can think of?
It might be. It might be a completely like John has a compulsive need to make people laugh. So he's going to think of a ridiculous word. Here is a list of the most ridiculous words he can think of right now. Hippopotamus. Like, I don't know, dude.
I don't know, man.
It's got to be something.
I watched a
I'm
YouTube
onto
video
something here.
Where it was like along the lines of like, okay, are you living in a simulation or are you not? That sort of thing, which that gets into the whole like universe
I
thing.
don't believe that.
Well, so there was apparently like a Chinese dude that had a dream that he was a butterfly.
Yeah.
Right. And then he woke up, but then he was like, did I wake up or did I go to sleep as a butterfly and I'm dreaming that I'm a human? And then that was like the
have
first
the fucking
intro
comprehension skills to understand what a human would
How do
be
you
like.
know?
Because it's a complete reversal. Like a butterfly does not have the brain capacity to understand what humans do. First of all, it's just limited.
Unless everybody's a butterfly and we're all dreaming of humans, and butterflies have such a huge brain capacity that they're dreaming.
It's literally impossible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's impossible. But if you're in your dreams, everything is possible. So the fact
No, not really.
Yeah, sure.
Like dogs can't dream of speaking English.
But the whole point of that is how do you like you don't know because dogs might not exist.
I just feel like you can't. Everything's based in reality. Like even the most crazy science fiction
but
work ever has some relation to the physical universe in some capacity.
Right. Unless you have a thing that defies all reason that you can't prove or disprove.
Like what?
Black holes.
Oh.
And that's the catalyst to everything, and that's like the
but that's something
trigger,
physical that we
basically.
can see.
I mean, theoretically.
Sure. Like we know the existence of them, right?
Maybe.
But I'm just saying you can't just make something up that's not somewhat related to reality.
Yeah, I mean...
Like maybe we don't understand it yet.
Right.
But there was a lot of things we didn't understand previously.
And we still don't.
Like,
but what I'm saying is if all of this is just a dream, then none of it... you can't base anything off of this because we're making our own
That's why
reality.
I don't think it's a dream.
But we're making our own reality. So it could be a dream. We're literally creating it. So there's no way to prove or disprove, or the reality you say everything is based off of could be fake in itself.
What would you do if you woke up in a slimy tank?
Oh, I would go back to sleep.
Like Neo. Well, no, they fucking unplugged your thing. Like Morpheus fucking...
Oh, so like I'm rescued then? Oh my gosh. Oh, I'd be what's his face. I'd be like, put me back in. Make me a little richer. Make me a little richer. Make me look a little bit better.
I know the steak isn't real, but it's fucking delicious.
Yep. Oh, I don't care.
You're such a scumbag, dude.
Put me back. Why? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Truly, what you want to be so free, and now this gets kind of in a weird way, and maybe I'll be eating my words later.
Yeah.
But you want to be so free that you're like, oh, I know this is all fake, right?
Yeah.
And instead, I can live in rags and dance with people in a cave, and fight machines till I get murdered.
Yes.
Now put me back in. Give me the best food.
Wow.
I'll be chiseled. Give me some money. The woman in the red dress or whatever.
Philosophies just differ so much.
I know, but it's just like, look, it's so helpless. Like that's despair in the most.
It's like if I logged on to League of Legends one day and it was like, you're a challenger. I'd be like, what?
What?
Like if it just...
How many league points is Challenger?
A lot.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be like, I didn't earn this. This isn't real.
Yeah, but so here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like it says I'm something.
Yeah.
Right? But I didn't work for it. I didn't earn it. And it's not really real.
Yeah, but you're
like
asking kind of like two different things at that point. I don't know.
How is that different?
Because like they wanted to give us a perfect life.
No, they wanted to harvest our essence.
Yeah, but give us a perfect life to keep us in order, and
Not
we
a perfect life. He was like
a
fucking office worker.
We rebelled. That was the original Matrix. They said, and this is getting off the topic, but the original Matrix was essentially perfection, and humans rebelled on it because no human could imagine actually being in a perfect world.
Yeah.
It's all the hardships and everything that make you feel like you're alive.
Right.
So they had to
But Tyler's different. Tyler wants the perfect world.
Oh, give me a perfect world. I don't care. No, I don't even say perfect world. I'm being selfish. Like if I'm like, oh yeah, here I'll unlock. I wouldn't want to kill anybody. But
so if the machines were like, describe the life you want, what would you tell them?
Oh, the usual.
No, I don't know the usual. Like some people would be like, make me king of the world.
Promises you don't intend to keep. No, I want to be inconspicuously rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, you just have the money, or like you own a business, or
I want. I don't. No, that's too much responsibility. I just have money.
You just have money.
I just have constant money.
Constant money.
Yeah.
Well, it has to make sense within the world. Like it's based on like Earth.
So here's the thing, and America. Maybe this is just me being like, if somebody was like, hey, I need to harvest you. Right. Okay. So let's get I
like
here.
This already.
Alien comes down to Earth.
Yes.
And it's just some like leech, right?
Can you talk to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could talk.
Okay.
And it would be like, hey, I need to just live in your brain. I'm not gonna affect your stuff. Okay. I'm gonna live in your lung.
I am very this is bad for me. I am very conscientious about, like, I hate surgeries. I hate.
Okay. All right. Let me rethink this.
That's a really bad.
All right.
That's a really bad thing.
Okay. Here's this.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm going to attach this panel on the top of your roof of your mansion. I'm going to give you a mansion.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
And I'm just going to, as you're sleeping, whatever.
Yeah.
Somehow through alien technology, we're going to take your life force. Not your life force, like you're not going to die because of it.
Yeah.
We're just going to use your, let's call it soul, spirit, whatever, to power this thing.
God.
Okay? I don't know how we got here, but we're here.
We're here.
So, and in return, we're going to give you unlimited wealth, long life, perfect health, like whatever. Like, wouldn't you do that? Like, why? Who cares? There's so
many questions.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like, as a human being, like, if like, instead of aliens, they're robots or whatever, and they're harvesting you to keep themselves alive. It's like you're being selfless because you're giving life to things.
Okay,
and you have what you can, because life is all about perception and reality. Like right now, like if you're not looking at a specific thing, there's that whole study of like, is it actually real? Does it exist in multiple universes? All that stuff. So depending on how much you are contemplating like your existence as a person.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah, but you destroy your perception of reality when you wake up and you realize it was fake. Your perception is now completely shifted forever.
But you never wake up.
Well, that's a different circumstance because I said you did wake up.
But he went back and erased his memory.
Oh, that's right. Oh, fuck.
So who cares?
I see. I wouldn't want to do that because I'd rather be free than rich. Actually, would I rather be free than rich? Yeah, I don't know.
Would you though? Like, okay, but that's what I mean. Like, you're free. You live in a can.
Well, think about it this way.
Best case scenario.
Think about it this way. Okay, that's the most extreme example, but a more realistic example is, would you rather work for a huge corporation on the board, you're rich, but you're beholden to their every whim, and you hate your job, and it sucks, and you don't care about the company and everything?
Well, that's the whole point, is like if you hate your fake life, then that's a completely different conversation. What I'm saying is, if you have a perfect life,
right,
where everything you could want, you have
but
no
it's not
misery.
Real.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if it's fake,
wouldn't it make you feel bad
perfect,
that you didn't earn it, though?
I would take a fake perfect life over a like real freedom of, hey, guess what? The world is nuked and you're fighting machines and you're about to die. Go sleep in the mud with your meant to be wife or whatever.
Yeah, but if the rebels win, then you're getting unplugged anyway.
But what does that mean? Like, okay, hey, we defeated all the machines. Cool. Which one of you are scientists? We have 3. Like, okay, thank you.
Well, you can restart humanity. Humanity didn't start with a bunch of scientists. It started with a bunch of people.
I know, but I don't want to start humanity. I want to reap the benefits. I'm a leech. I am the leech. That's the moral of the story. Is I'm the leech.
I think I'm probably a leech too, but I gotta play devil's advocate.
Oh my goodness. Well, that went off on a.
So you probably heard about half of that. So welcome back. to our next section. All right, that was a while. I have more thoughts.
You have more thoughts?
This is video game related.
Okay.
So did you ever play the SSX snowboarding games?
Yeah. Tricky 3?
Tricky. Well, it was either Tricky or 3. I think most people played Tricky, but I played
Tricky.
SSX
There wasn't a Tricky 3?
No, it was just called SSX Tricky.
I think that's what I played then. I don't know.
Anyways, those games were so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, so I had an idea for this game, okay?
That's foreshadowing. That will be brought up later.
What?
The SSX Tricky.
Well, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
All right. So anyway, I had an idea. Tell me if there's a market for this game. Okay.
Absolutely.
So in SSX 3, you're like, there's like this big competition on this huge mountain, right? And pretty much there's not really a story to the game, but there's all these different characters who kind of have their own backstories, but they don't really tell you about them. You kind of find it out through, banter and things. You know what I mean? So there's no real story.
Yeah.
But I always thought it'd be really cool and I think there's a market for this, if, you can create your own character, because in that game you have to play as one of the established characters, which I guess you could do, but you create your own character and it's all the snowboarding aspects, but you add a relationship dating sim along with that. So you can interact with the other characters. So instead of just the snowboarding, you can go back to the lodge, you can throw a party, you can talk to people, you can make friendships. I think that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And an aspect that game, it would make a lot of sense for a game like that. Because you got like people in college, like I think people would like that. And then like dialogue trees and everything like that.
Yeah.
But obviously you need to keep the core of it, which is the snowboarding and everything good like that. But
can you kill people in that game?
No.
So
you can like knock them out.
No, like if you have like a rival or something, can you like nudge them off the mountain?
Dude, that'd be sick though. Like let's say so in the game you can like punch people and knock them out during the race or whatever.
Yeah.
And let's say like you knock out this guy and you create a rivalry, okay? And I guess I have Shadow War on the brain because like the Nemesis system and shit, so it'd be like that. But like what if like after the event like you're hanging out at your place and like he like comes to your place and there's like a big fight or something, like that'd be so sweet. Right. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. And then you like, there's all these relationships that you're building throughout the game. And I don't know, you can like pair up with people and be on a team or something. And I think it'd be cool. I think that it would be interesting.
What if they're all monsters? Okay. So it's all like a monster game, but
like Monster High School dating sim?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No, everyone's a demon.
Okay.
So everyone, and you still have all the relationship aspects and things like that.
Okay.
And maybe it's like the demon games, and you don't know. So the whole thing is this infinite mountain. You just keep going down the mountain, and you meet people down the mountain, and it's like, oh, you want to come with me and different things, and you keep going down. And maybe there's like every millennia there's this contest, right?
Yeah.
As you go down.
No, you're the actual artist, because I'm just.
So you're going down the mountain. You're trying to get relationships and kind of like do like, you want to be in an alliance and stuff, and you go down.
You're constantly going down?
You're just constantly going down the mountain. You don't have to keep going down, but
there's like rest points.
It's whoever gets down the farthest, right? Like maybe
is this a roguelite?
Maybe like wins. I don't know. But it like different checkpoints, you're awarded special things. So the farther down the mountain you get, the more like renown you get, maybe, or something like that. But the caveat is randomly Satan will come up from the bottom of the mountain and kill or like eliminate, I don't know, because you can't really kill a demon. Like he deconstructs the demon or whatever that's the farthest down the mountain. So then it starts turning, like once you're down there, it starts turning into this whole like, okay, like do you really want to push your luck and get further than me and get more renown? But
what do you get when you win?
Well, that's the thing is I don't know. Maybe that's the thing, and that's the sick part of it is like it's just the legend, right? Of like, if you get off the mountain, you can maybe earn your spot back in heaven or something.
Wow.
I don't know where I was going with that.
That was not what I was thinking. We might be talking about two different games.
No, but that's like you but then you have the relationships of like how do you weave that in where it's like
well, that would be more serious than like, hey dude, a little bit more.
Right?
Like because I always thought it was cool. Like,
and like you don't know the Satan comes up and kills people, right? Like that's it's
like
just
a
like
surprise.
this thing, and maybe that's just his sick game or something.
Yeah.
So you're in this conquest, and maybe the further down you get, the more and more you realize, like, oh, because maybe people down at the bottom have like seen what happened, right? So they're like, they can't. You can never go back up the mountain, right?
Hinting at you the whole time.
Yeah, like
foreshadowing.
it's impossible to go up the mountain.
Right.
You can't go back up.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
But you do like a lot of relationship building there, I guess.
I guess demon games always have relationship building.
Yeah.
Like, hey, when I was alive, I was a mailman.
Oh, so it would be that kind of demon?
I don't know. That would be more
like
interesting.
Humans that
you can
turn
talk about
into...
because you're trying to get back to. Well, you said back to heaven. It'd be interesting if you're trying to be a part, like you get reincarnated, you get a second chance at life or something.
Yeah, maybe it gives like a Lucifer round.
Maybe you're not even a demon. Maybe you're just a guy, like you're just in hell.
Or you get out of demon and you get to be a human. Yeah. Or something.
Yeah. But what I was thinking, like I always thought it was cool because there's like always an announcer in those games that would like commentate and everything, and it'd be like, check out Big Air Event on EA Radio Big it was called. But it'd be super awesome if it was like, oh, we saw Tyler on the slopes yesterday, he totally knocked out John. And I'm a big sucker for worlds that feel alive like that, where they're talking about events that happened in your playthrough, like a Mass Effect. Like it was like, remember you meet that guy, remember the beach on, is that Vermeer where Rex lives or dies?
It's the idea that, hey, no, we do see what you're doing, and yes, it did mean something, and that's
what I'm saying. Like the guy who led the charge, the Solarian, you meet him like in the third game, I think. Again, he's like, holy shit, or maybe it wasn't a leader, but it was like one of his mates.
Yeah,
and he's like, dude, I remember your speech on the beach. It was so awesome.
It's one of the few things they did like right. Like
like this was 2 games ago. I mean, it's not like to that extent, but I'm a sucker for that. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Long story short, we need to have a game. Demons, relationships, high school. I'm just kidding.
What would we call that game? Typically, we come out with
Souls.
That would. Yeah. No. Done. That's perfect. Elden Souls. That's good.
SSX. Soul Survivors Extreme
2.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be a good game. I think there's a place for that. I would play it.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say that.
Who wouldn't?
I love relationship games.
Go on Xbox Game Pass.
The thing is, I can't do dating sims because, that's a little bit too much for me.
Sims?
Yeah. Because I need like more gameplay than that. I can't just be like, okay, I'm only playing this for dating. That's like, I'm not sure about that.
Get to take the
But if you had all the snowboarding
clothes off or something
that we loved in those games, and just added that aspect of it, great.
We'll get on that right after the RPG. We'll start doing
our infinite Souls. RPG that's actually like an MMO, and
we should call it Project Demon Souls.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally would. All right, we had some Twitter polls.
Yeah,
I'll bring it back to reality now. We had some Twitter polls. We had 3 this week, Tyler. So we're up in our game here at the Couch Company.
Would you like a drink while you get that pulled up?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will rift while you give me a drink. Try to rein me back in here. So we had 3 polls this week, and our Tuesday poll always is video game related in that area. Wednesday, I can't help myself with alliteration. I mean, you know how I am. I just love alliteration so much.
Who doesn't?
I think hyperbole is better.
Hyperbole?
Hyperbole.
Oh, okay.
Hyperbolic time chamber?
I thought people called it hyperbole as like a joke. Like it's pronounced hyperbole.
Yes.
But people read it hyperbole.
I've never heard that.
Oh, okay.
Unless that's a hyperbole.
No, that was some comedian had a special called that, but he specifically was it Dave the comedian?
Yes,
Dave Hyperbole.
I don't fucking know. All right, we had a Tuesday one. Wednesday was a would you rather.
Yep.
Alliteration. Thank you. Metaphor. Simile. What else?
That's it.
What else is there? There's more.
Simile,
metaphor, hyperbole, allegory, sonnet. That's a poem. And Thursday is something else. Haiku's another poem.
Thursdays.
Haiku Thursday? That would be cool. I read a haiku every Thursday.
What is that? 15 syllables?
Haiku Monday.
You could probably do that on Twitter.
I tried doing Music Monday. I talked about this already, but the links suck. I wanted
Twitter,
to educate our audience.
Yeah.
But no one would probably listen to that anyways, let's be honest. I just want to share my musical tastes.
You mean both, buddy.
All right, sorry, I dropped my bottle cap. All right, Tuesday's question was, what type of gaming experience is your favorite? The options were single player, which is by yourself, co-op, which is with a friend, but it's like a single player-esque experience, I kind of assumed.
Okay. All
well,
right.
actually, that's a lie. That could be like a couch game too, like a Treadnoughts, like a Gang Beasts.
See, I look at that as like a multiplayer
casual.
Yeah.
Fuck, I should have defined this. This is the problem with the Twitter polls. You can't really define it.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
Do you think it'd be a multiplayer casual? Yeah, I guess that would be.
Yeah.
So co-op is just one other person.
Co-op is specifically cooperative, so you have to be going towards the same goal.
Right. So like Gears of War,
Yep.
Halo.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, half a Halo campaign.
right.
Of Halo,
it can be. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We had multiplayer casual, which is what Tyler's kind of describing. And then, but would you consider like if I played League, but I played like an ARAM, is that multiplayer casual?
Sure. If you want to split hairs on it, I consider League. I consider Valorant. Anything that has. So let me put it this way: anything that has a ranked mode, I would automatically put it as competitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have
Even if you don't
multiplayer
play it.
competitive. Okay.
Yeah.
So those were the four options. On our Twitter poll, multiplayer competitive won 49%, which is interesting to me because as much as people complain about multiplayer competitive games, they still pick that.
What's your? I mean, that's your stand-in, right? Like it's the Call of Duty, it's your Valorant,
Yeah.
it's your Halos and League.
I will say on the straw poll, for those of you who do not have Twitter, all right, I got it pulled up. Single player won at 36%, and then casual was second, co-op third, tied with competitive. So kind of a flip there, which is interesting. Me personally, it would either be between single player and multiplayer competitive. I feel like the best experiences I've had have been between those two categories. I'm not 100% sure what would win. Do you have a favorite when it comes to that?
Yeah, I think if I'm being honest with myself, the thing that I would typically go to is co-op games.
Co-op games.
Now, I don't... So it's weird because I don't like co-op games.
There's literally 0 co-op games in your top 10, by the way.
I know. But it forces me to play a game. So I think I value playing with other people as my experience of choice.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would be single player. All my games are single player games because it's a very personal experience. So like that's what I enjoy.
Right.
But I do like that co-op piece. Now, for stuff like Borderlands just came out, so like Borderlands, Diablo, things like that, I play that solo, but I would still consider it a co-op game. So that's kind of where my mind's at too, where I like co-op games because it just gives me an option to play with people.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm having a really good time with this. I can experience this with friends. I don't have to, but I can.
Yeah. We need to play Cuphead.
Yeah. Look,
you really don't want to, but
you play Portal, I will absolutely play Cuphead with you.
And you get to fucking play this time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's fun.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something profound, but all right. So that's what won. Multiplayer competitive. I guess if you add the two together, let me do some quick math. It would be close. Fuck.
Co-op?
No, co-op's like last.
All right. Dude, I'm always out in the cold. Like everything I like.
It would still be single player. All right. Our Would You Rather Wednesday was would you rather be always too hot or always too cold? The stipulation on this one that I couldn't explain is you can't be like, I'd always be too cold and I just wear more clothes. It's like, no, you're always cold.
And I knew that's what you were going with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would change people's answers. I still think it's not a surprise. Cold blew it out of the water. We literally had one vote between the two polls for hot. I would go hot.
Was it you that voted?
No, I didn't vote.
Yeah.
No, I never voted.
I hit cold just knee jerk. Like I'm like, oh, cold, obviously. I hate being hot.
Right.
But I was thinking like what you were saying where it's like you're always going to be.
You're always cold.
I think my question to you is what is the extreme?
What do you mean?
Like when you're saying you're always too hot or always too cold, like I'm pretty miserable when I'm hot, and I think whenever I'm going to sleep, that's a problem.
Right.
But yeah, I might say hot. Like I might go hot with you because I could survive being too hot longer, maybe.
So my rationale for being hot is I don't mind being hot as much as I mind being cold. I hate shivering and just being cold. Also, when I'm really cold, I feel like I'm starting to get sick. I'm always worried about that aspect as well. Whereas when I'm really hot, like I'm not worried about that at all. So
see, when I'm hot, I'm just irritable. Like I'm always just in a bad mood.
Sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a huge sweater either, so I guess that kind of contributes to that.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. I always feel like most people would rather be cold. But again, you can't put more clothes on. Like as many clothes as you put on, you're still at the same cold level.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't specify at what cold level. It was very general kind of questions, whatever it meant to you. But
well, it's the same thing with being hot. Like you're running around naked. Like
yeah, that doesn't
still
help.
Too hot. Yeah.
A nice tall glass of iced tea doesn't help.
Sounds like hell.
Yeah, it'd be fucking terrible. It's actually a horrible, horrible question. But it's.
I like how that's a good theme. We should keep that. All our would you rathers are just terrible questions. Like none of the answers are good answers.
I feel like most of the things we talk about are like negative. Like it's always like super negative, and we need to talk about better things. More uplifting things, I should say.
What about today's episode was not uplifting? Everything's great.
Leeches
I guess it's not. And power. I don't know.
Well, we talked a lot about casinos and percentages.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. We need to be more positive in our life.
All right. Our Thursday poll this week. I actually really liked this one. I don't know if everyone else liked it, but the question was most entertaining dynamic, and it was cartoon characters, kind of classic ones. So it was between Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, Sylvester the Cat, Tweety Bird, and Tom and Jerry. Now, I had trouble phrasing this one. I actually called Tyler and I was like, how do I phrase this? Because I don't want to call them like enemies, even though they are, because it's more playful than that.
Yeah, but I mean, one is trying to kill
They're not
the other.
really duo. They're not a duo because they're not working together. I mean, they are enemies.
They're
right?
not cooperative.
But it's like if you ask, who's your favorite enemies, it's kind of awkward. I felt like a little bit of an awkward question.
Yeah.
Hopefully this got across. Tom and Jerry won, not surprisingly. Let me check. So it won 57% on Twitter, and on the straw poll, there was like barely any votes for this one on the straw poll. That's a cool one. Tom and Jerry still won on this. No, it didn't.
Did they? I was going to say
Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd won on the straw poll.
So I voted for Roadrunner.
So this is interesting. I would either vote between Roadrunner and Tom and Jerry, and it's close because the most I've ever laughed in my entire life.
I didn't pause.
I know. I just realized that. The most I've ever laughed in my entire life might be Roadrunner. I love the slapstick.
Yeah.
Just same joke every time. It just doesn't get old to me, man. I just think it's fucking hilarious.
And they're like, I get with,
but Tom and Jerry's right there with that, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing: Roadrunner is not an asshole. Where I think Jerry is like,
okay, yeah.
Jerry's like setting Tom up.
Oh, he instigates.
He kind of deserves it.
Well, I wouldn't say he deserves to die.
Well,
but he instigates.
Fair enough.
He instigates.
Yeah, but he like gets the dog involved and he starts doing these things.
My favorite episodes are when they team up.
Yeah.
Like the dog gets involved and they team up and they shake hands. They're like, we're going to fuck this guy up. Then we'll get back to it. Like, those are my favorite.
I feel so bad. Like, here's the thing. When you're talking about a sympathetic character, I think Tom might be my most sympathetic character.
Of all time?
No. I'm saying of those four, I feel like Tom gets a pretty bad rap. Where like Tom,
he's trying to do his job. He's a house cat.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. Is his
job.
You
can say the same. Well, actually, no. So Sylvester the cat, Tweety Bird's like an owned bird.
Yeah.
So Sylvester's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Tom's just trying to do his fucking job.
Exactly.
Man.
Like Jerry was not invited there.
No, he was not.
That poor old lady.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares if he,
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Blew up your basement with a bunch of fireworks. He's trying to do his fucking job, man. Come on. Give the guy a break.
He was set up.
To be fair, Elmer Fudd is also trying to do his job as a hunter.
Yeah.
I feel like it's old-timey enough where that's still a job, right?
Yeah.
Like trapping and...
Oh, is that actually his job?
Probably.
I feel like he's just doing it for the fun of it, like the sport.
He might be trying to feed his fucking family, man.
A rabbit?
Yeah.
There's like Bambi or whatever. I guess it's different universes.
Yeah, he got his mom.
Yeah.
That fed his family for a week, and now he's...
For a week?
I don't know.
Elmer Fudd's not a big guy. He's chubby, but he's
It's just
tiny.
him and his wife.
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, he doesn't have a little Fudd on the way?
Actually, I don't think he even has a wife. I think it's just him, man. So, that poor guy's just trying to eat.
I guess he better not have a wife because he's all getting it on with Bugs Bunny.
What are you talking about? I don't remember that.
You don't remember when Bugs Bunny like dresses up as Bugs is always dressing up as a chick, like flirting with him and
Bugs
stuff.
has got some things to say, man. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Bugs Bunny is pretty good. I would say like he's the most charismatic out of all the heroes, quote unquote.
Yeah, but even Bugs is kind of a dick.
You like Bugs? Oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
But that's what we like about him.
Oh, we do? Okay.
I like Bugs more than Jerry. Like Jerry's just like an asshole. Bugs is like charming.
Charming's a strong word,
You
but
think? You don't think he's charming?
I'll go on a limb. I'll go with you. I'll say he's the most charming of all the Looney Tunes characters. Yeah, you're right. He's the most suave, charming, whatever you want to call it. He is the closest thing to a human.
I'm kind of a Daffy Duck kind of guy.
Yeah, but Daffy Duck's not charming.
No, I just like Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah, Daffy is like, oh hey, we see Disney and Donald, and what can we do to be like basically the same thing?
That is true. I didn't even think about that. They even have like the speech stuff.
Yeah, it's all.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's funny. They're both ducks.
How Looney Tunes
How did I not realize
is Looney Tunes not owned by Disney at this point?
Disney has to be first, right? But they're both so
who
old.
Who owns Warner Brothers?
Isn't it its own thing?
I assume by this point Warner Brothers got bought by
by
somebody.
Disney.
Yeah.
Maybe you might be right.
Or
by
Fox
Microsoft
or something.
probably. Yeah. There were our polls. So that's what we got.
It's a good intro to people's psyche. They like to be cold and.
I love to hear from Jeff. Actually made a pretty funny comment for the cold one. What did he say? Sweaty nerds, the cold. Heart the cold.
True.
He's not wrong there. So, but I love hearing the feedback from the audience.
Yeah.
Kind of seeing where, and then disagreeing with them.
I was going to say, how far
being
off
being salty about Geralt winning.
Yeah. Well.
So I was playing Shadow War, and I just fought the Balrog. Spoilers, I guess.
Balrog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I fought the Balrog, which was a pretty sweet fight when you're on the Drake.
I don't remember that at all.
What?
Like when you said that, I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Meanwhile, I'm thinking of like just a big like orc guy, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, no, Balrog is like they like smacked Gandalf."
Yeah,
yeah.
You fight a Balrog.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, it's a big thing. I don't think you can skip that either.
Probably
no,
not.
It's pretty sweet because you're on a Drake and you're fighting it from the sky.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, okay, so if Geralt can beat Talion, can Geralt beat a Balrog?
Probably.
You think so?
I think so.
No fucking way.
A one-on-one fight?
I need my Lord of the Rings people to tell me why Balrogs are so OP. Because I can't tell you, but... Because even Gandalf had trouble.
Beat him?
Barely.
Yeah, barely. He's an old man.
Gandalf's immortal.
Nah, they say that. Gandalf's a little...
Get the fuck out of here.
Old man.
Wizards are like gods or something.
No, Gandalf was like, what, 75?
Was he collecting Social Security?
Probably. I'm just saying this to... Like, David's ears are bleeding right
That's
now.
what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. David's like literally sending
He's
me
on his
a
way
note
over.
why Balrogs would absolutely kill. Well, I don't know. Like, it's been a while since I played The Witcher. I'm pretty sure like Geralt has like a utility belt for every monster. So it's like, does he have a special?
He's the Batman of the.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Of olden times.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like if it's
does
a
he have
one-on-one
an
thing,
anti-Balrog serum?
he would have to. If you're going to merge those, it's just like he could fight Talion. Where like if you're going to merge
but in the
those
game,
universes,
it's not like he killed. Like it's not like it melts a demon. It just does more damage against it.
Yeah,
or something. Balrogs are crazy, and they're like fucking 3 stories tall.
Yeah,
and they have a big whip.
You need to watch Witcher.
Get the fuck out!
He fights some big guys.
You think watching Witcher would convince me he could beat a Balrog.
I think it would make it closer.
Wow.
I don't think a Balrog's that. I mean,
Okay, Geralt or Sauron?
It's a big fire demon.
Geralt or Sauron?
I've yet to see Sauron do anything.
That's a good point.
The only thing I've seen Sauron do
I saw a regular dude chop his hand.
His finger gets cut off by a blunt, half-broken sword. Like, that's the one thing that I never understood in Lord of the Rings.
He's the big bad guy.
Yeah, it's like, he's so dangerous. Yeah, you see him swing a sword and knock a bunch of people around.
Yeah.
Fine. But then like one guy comes up and slices his finger off and suddenly he just disappears.
So he is like, it's
same with
just
Voldemort. Like, oh no, it's this big guy.
Voldemort killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, sure. But not as many as Sauron.
What do you mean?
Voldemort didn't kill as many people as Sauron. I'll put
we
saw
Voldemort kill more people than Sauron is what I'm saying. Like we see Voldemort do more impressive things than...
Yeah, but there wasn't armies coming to Voldemort. There were armies going for Sauron.
The point you're making is Sauron, it's they just tell us he's the big bad.
Yeah, you literally see him like swing an axe or swing his little like mace or whatever. Yeah. And like dudes are like flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we see Voldemort just kill people with the spell.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Whatever.
It's a pretty OP spell.
I think Voldemort's silly goose.
Avada Kedavra ruins Harry Potter for me.
Avada
Kedavra. Okay.
I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm the Harry Potter expert of the
Well, you're married
cast.
One. But I think it just totally ruins it for me.
What does? Having
that spell, it's just too OP. You can just kill anyone.
Yeah, the kill spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just use that permanently? Like, is there a cooldown? It was never explained.
I guess not.
The only reason Harry survived against it is because their wands were connected because they came from the same bird.
Man, talk about spoilers.
Come on.
Okay.
And that's why they did it was like a battle.
Yeah, so it's all happenstance. It's all like, these few things fell into place.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So anyone could walk around, shoot that spell, and kill everyone.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it's naughty. Anyone could pick up a gun and kill everybody. How's that any different?
You could miss.
You could. Couldn't you miss with a spell?
This is a fictional world.
Are spells homing? Can you home in on people with spells? I don't think so. Right?
I don't know.
I feel like you couldn't.
Well, it's a lightning bolt essentially, right? So I don't think you're gonna miss.
Well, I just don't understand why did they have to have like ice and fire and water and all that stuff? Like, why couldn't you just literally kill anyone, murder somebody?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
every war would be decided. There should either be a defense to it, or you can't just make a spell that just kills someone. That's ridiculous.
Maybe there's a defense for it. What would the defense be?
I don't think there is. We never see it. There should be a counter to it. You know what I'm saying? Or everyone should be able to lock like that. That would be cool. Like your defense is you have to shoot a spell at them.
You shoot the same kill spell, and then whoever
Not the
wants
same,
it more.
But maybe. That'd be fucking wild. And then whoever loses the
or it explodes and kills everybody. What a silly universe. I don't know.
The universe is cool and I like it, but she needs Tolkien is the opposite. Every detail is explained.
He's like, I'm just going to make all these languages.
Yeah. But for her, it's like, here's the idea. And then it's like...
Are you excited for that game?
It looks cool. It looks cool. Now that I have a PS5.
Oh, good transition. You want to talk about the PS5?
So...
What kind of a bullshit that is?
We were sent a link the other day. And by the other day, I mean yesterday. And by yesterday, I mean last Thursday. Because you're listening to this on a Monday morning.
Yes, do that math.
Theoretically. 4 days. Fuck. Oh man. Thought train going off the rails.
PS5. We got a text.
We got a text from, so my cousin's pretty on top of those PS5 launches. So I guess, I didn't know Sony was doing this, but I guess it's like they'll open up their store when they get some in stock and you get in a queue and it's all random apparently.
It's weird too because if you just went to Sony's website and said, hey, I want to buy hardware, not even a PS5, but literally I want to buy hardware. They don't even take you to a store page. They literally just drop you in the queue because they just assume you want a PS5.
Right, yeah. You can't even buy other shit because I was trying to get on there. So me and Tyler were in this queue because we were talking about getting PS5s because we felt as a gaming podcast we should have everything available to us.
Yeah, we should maybe play some of the 80 or above games that came out this year.
Right, and a lot of them are exclusive on PS5. Tyler does have a Switch, so he can play that side of things.
Yeah,
I should get a Switch too,
Pokemon's
honestly.
fine.
Okay, and goodbye to our last listener. So anyways, we were both waiting in there, and it was kind of funny because I was like, hey, I'm in, guys. And I was like, oh, fuck, but they're sold out. So apparently what happened was the regular PS5 is sold out. So I spent an extra $100 to get the one that can play Blu-ray.
Well, one was digital. It doesn't have a disc drive.
Exactly. Mine has a disc drive.
Well, that's the one you want.
Yes.
Okay.
So
well,
I'm
so
glad.
you lucked out.
Yeah, I did luck out. So there was one, but it's like $100 more.
Yeah, it's $100 more, but now you can buy discs and return discs.
Right.
Versus a digital where it's just you pay $70 for a digital game and then that's yours forever.
Right. And it can play movies on there too.
Yeah. Does it play? I would hope it plays 4K. Or is it just Blu-ray?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah.
PS4 didn't. PS4 wasn't a 4K
this is the
player.
PS5, Tyler.
Yeah, but Xbox One played 4K movies. Okay, I'll just say they own Blu-ray. I don't know.
That is really funny.
Sony owns that technology and they don't put it in their system. Come on.
Smart.
Yeah.
So I did get a PS5. Long story short, I did get a PS5. It's coming next week.
So when did you join the? So the problem is, when did you join the queue?
Same time as you.
But
Nate linked it in our group chat, and I right away.
Right away. Okay, so that's the misunderstanding I had.
Yes,
I thought you had to create an account. So were you creating an account?
I joined it, and I was creating an account while I was
smart. Okay, so that makes more sense.
Smart.
Because for me, it was I was watching my time go down. You sent a receipt saying, "Hey, I got my PS5," and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome! I have 12 minutes until I get in."
Right.
And then that 12 minutes turned to 14 and 18, and then like 35, and then more than an hour, and then just kept kicking me backwards. And I'm just like, "Why? Like, what happened?"
That's weird.
I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, mine just kept going down. It said an hour, and it was about maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It just kept going down, and then it's like, you're in. I was like, holy shit, this is happening.
Wow.
And then I
a PS5.
saw it was out of stock, and then I clicked on the white one. I guess it was showing a black version of the PS5, and I clicked on the white one. It was like $500, and I was like, oh shit, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but it's like $300 less than what they're going for.
I just got a bonus, so I pretty much paid about $75 for it.
Nice. Yeah,
so.
Tax returns coming, bonuses are coming, raises are coming.
Yes,
like
everything's
happening.
So I'm very excited about PS5. I have to add to my games I plan on playing now. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I want to play Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
For sure. So I'll let you know how that goes.
You'll probably like Miles Morales. That might be
I should play Spider-Man. Holy shit. I never played any of the Spider-Mans. That's a great idea. I should play Spider-Man.
From what I hear, Miles Morales is the way to do it.
My friend said I should get Elden Ring on PS5 because David said that. So that we could play together. I was like, you know what, David? I have a much higher chance of finishing that game if I do play with you because you'll carry me to the finish line.
I guess that's true.
So, unless we want to duo on PC and hate our lives.
I mean, I have it. If you wanted to, I would.
Well, I have to play it. Like we talked about it. It's going to be game of the year. Like we have to fucking play it.
Can we play it together, or is it just like if I come in your game, I'm just a little ghost? It doesn't.
No, we can play it together. At least that's what I feel like he was saying.
I was under the impression that you couldn't actually play through the game together. If you could co-op that thing where we're both
I'm
going
pretty
through,
sure because David
thing.
was telling me like, oh yeah, I beat this boss with my friend last night, and
I mean,
I'll check.
Right.
I'll check.
That's different from what I understand.
I'm very excited as well because God of War 2 now.
God of War is going to be the big one, yeah.
The next Final Fantasy that comes out, so Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2.
Yeah, what was the remake that they were doing? Old Republic, is that exclusive?
That's exclusive. Yep.
To PlayStation.
Yep.
There you go.
No, it's not. It's not a remake. It's a new one. Knights of the Old Republic 3.
I thought they were remaking it.
I think it's 3.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I thought they were remaking it, but
that was a great state of play. There was a lot of hype shit in that one.
It was way better than the last one they did.
Well, that's the one where I was like, "Fuck!" Like, I kind of want to
play Eternal. That's another one. That's what. Honestly, that would be the first game I would play. Yeah. Yeah. Or not Eternal, Returnal.
Returnal. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I don't know. That one seems like fine.
That's up my alley.
Exactly.
It's like the roguelite
exactly.
Type stuff, yeah.
I was like, I'll play it for sure.
Yeah.
Especially since you don't have one.
Yeah,
and I will.
You can.
But is that knife twisted enough? Or?
No, that's fine. I'll get one eventually.
No, I know. You had a dream about it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, I kind of want. I want to get that PC. Like I keep looking at it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I can.
Well, what's 500 more?
I could take that 500 and put it towards a PC.
Yeah.
Maybe get a nice monitor to go with it. Get a 4K monitor now that my PC could actually handle it.
I guess as long as you have one of the two members of the Couch Company reviewing the PS5 games, we're okay.
You can do the PS5 good games. I'll do the Switch games. I'll be fine.
Actually, I'm curious about some of the Switch games.
Like what?
What was the one with the tanks and stuff? It was like
Advanced Wars.
Advanced Wars, yeah. So I played this Flash game that was pretty much Advanced Wars ripoff. It has to be.
Turn-based?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a Flash game. Oh, I forget what it's called, man, but it was the exact same thing. Like you got tanks and like units and shit. And it was turn-based and it was really fun.
Advanced Battles.
Yeah, something like that. Fuck, I gotta remember what that's called. It was on Congregate. Does anyone remember Congregate? Out in the Void?
Yeah, GameStop bought them.
Bought them?
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that. That was a while ago, right?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
I was still working
forever
there
ago.
at that point.
Yeah,
It was like a decade ago.
That was my favorite website ever, dude. I played so many games on there.
I don't know. They pushed that date back just because of the everything going on in Ukraine, where they're like, hey, maybe we don't put out a game that's about taking over countries.
Yeah, of course. Yikes.
Yeah,
So
it's like, okay, that's
that
probably
one
a
will
good
be
move.
interesting.
Kirby's coming out.
I actually really like the Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those, even though I've never played them.
I love everything about Fire Emblem, and I still have yet to get past like the first battle.
That sucks.
And I don't know
that
why.
Game's so
Because
good.
I like
literally watched a
everything about it.
playthrough of that.
Yeah.
Now I can actually play these games. I feel like I'm like 6 again, where I used to like play all these demos, and I'd be like, I wish I could like buy real games. And now it's like I'm console locked.
Well, I mean, now you have everything now.
Need a Switch.
Yeah.
Or I could borrow yours.
I was gonna say we have 3 or 4 of them here.
Do you really?
We have 3. Yeah.
Can I buy one off you?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, there's my PS5 story. I'm very excited. I actually might be most excited about Ratchet & Clank.
I know you really like Ratchet.
I really like Ratchet & Clank. It looks spectacular.
Yeah, if you want to play old 2021 games, that's fine.
Fuck out of here. I just like, I mean, it's like a seamless game. Like, there's no loading.
Dude, there's like 20 games already, all 85s and above this year alone. Like, this year is nuts in terms of what's coming out.
Do you think it's this year in particular?
Just the first couple months have been pretty good. I mean, granted, they're all like some of them are like these like indie games. Like we talked about Tunic last week and stuff. Like there are these kind of out of nowhere things that are just good experiences. Apparently,
I had to play Tunic. We'll have to see where I put that on my list.
I know we wanted to talk about it. Like,
you finished. So you recently finished Tunic. Why don't you kind of describe?
I like Tunic. I'll be interested to see how you feel about it at the end of everything, because I think I was starting to get frustrated where you can get lost in that game. So Jeff even mentioned in our Discord, like, oh, it took me 5 hours to get to the second world. I'm pretty sure he was exaggerating. If he's not, I apologize.
Oh, wow.
But like, I could see how that happens, where like you don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, for me, that game clicked where I'm like, oh, I'm understanding what they're trying to tell me. And like we talked about like all the different features and like the cool mechanic of like the strategy guide thing. Like as you're picking up pages in the world, it's like filling in this book for you and stuff.
Right.
So I think that was all cool. It was just the very end of it. I didn't know what I was really supposed to do. And I kept thinking, like, I guess I just fight the last boss. And I just kept going to the last boss, getting my ass just handed to me. It turns out there were like a couple other things you have to do beforehand to really get like the strength to do it.
Yeah. And
they telegraphed that pretty well, but it wasn't clicking. That very maybe that last like hour and a half for me.
Right.
So that dampened it a little bit, and then it was like finally fought the boss, beat the boss, and that's literally like the end of it. There's nothing after that, right? It's either you say, oh, I'm going to choose a different path and I'm going to try to find the rest of the pages, because apparently you can, of the book of like your instruction manual, or it's I do a new game plus and I bring all my items with me.
Okay, gotcha.
I liked it a lot. Do I think I needed a new game plus? Probably not. Like
it doesn't
feel
hurt
like
to put that in there.
No, absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it's like, am I going to play through that game again?
Right.
No. I in my mind, I beat it. I beat the last boss. Credits scrolled. I'm moving on.
Is
to the
that
next
how you
game.
felt about like Journey? That's one of my favorite stories that you have, where it's like you beat it, you're like, okay, that was like a really cool, but that's like a one shot.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
this one.
I know it was like a little bit of obviously Journey is a very unique experience. I'm just saying in terms of like cool, like aha, kind of interesting, unique experiences. I feel like Tunic falls somewhere in that realm, and I guess the novelty kind of wears off once you beat the game, right?
It's less about the novelty. It's more about, for me to go back and be like, okay, the whole point of me going back in is to get all the other secrets.
Yeah.
But knowing how that game handles secrets, I need to stay along the outside border of the wall or room or whatever and hope that I get into a crevice that gets me behind something that I just follow and like, oh, where does this lead? Oh, it comes out of a waterfall. Oh, I got this chest or whatever.
Right.
That doesn't sound necessarily fun to me, where it was fun in the moment where I'm like, all right, I'm leveling up. I'm trying to find all these new like items and different things in the progression of the game. But because I've seen where the game goes, now it's like, well, I don't need to play this game again. It's a little different. Journey had the same thing, to be honest, where Journey had a bunch of collectibles where if you got all the collectibles, you turn white instead of like this red cloak. So it shows like, oh, you're a Journey expert type of guy.
Yeah.
I never did that. Because it was like I liked that concise experience. I liked what I took away from it. I thought the ending was very good in Tunic, and I can't say anything about my impressions with it because it will absolutely spoil it.
Right.
I liked it.
Was it good?
It was not what I thought it was going to be at all.
Sure.
And I would love to get people, because like they don't, nothing's in English. Like you have to interpret everything you've seen.
Right.
I would love for you to get through all of that, or Jeff or somebody, and like be like, okay, what does that mean to you? Like what happened? What does that mean?
I
think that's kind of a cool thing.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to definitely, it's on my list. I'll have to definitely check it out. And
It's just exploring. Like that's all. It's neat.
I am almost done with Shadow of War.
Yep.
I'm on the last, I'm right before.
What did we say, Act 4? Four acts in that game?
Yes. So I'm right about to fight Sauron or whatever. Like that's the mission. So it's
you should try cutting his finger off. That's pro tip.
I heard that does work sometimes. And then you get the
right
ring.
up. Yeah,
and then you ruin your life over the ring.
Yeah.
And then
it's a big circle.
So it's like the mission where it's like make sure you do everything else before you start this.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. So that's like the last thing, right? So
I cannot wait to see what you think after that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like you just go around fighting forts and stuff. So
is that something you would have?
I would have a blast,
doing?
but I if I had time, I would 100% this game.
Yeah,
but I got to play Guardians. I got to play God of War now. Like I got to start cooking, dude. So it's bittersweet because it's like, man, I fucking love this game. It's a very 100%able game. Like it tells you where everything is, has a percentage bar. Like you know how we love that. I mean, I'll talk about it in my final thoughts and stuff, but I will say I've been doing some of the side quests. Some of them are just awful.
Yeah.
Like the Gondorian side quest. It's like, I don't give a fuck about any of you guys. It's just so boring. But again,
it's filler.
It's filler, exactly.
Sure.
So we'll talk about that when I'm finished. I should definitely have that finished by next episode, so we can definitely talk about that and rate that one.
Awesome.
I think while that's there. And then next up is Guardians. But maybe I'll do God of War, because since I have a PS5 coming in, God of War 2 is coming out this year, I got to get that done. But I have time.
Yeah, I mean, Guardians, I think, is 30 hours. God of War is probably around 30. If you like,
I add these fucking PS5 games
like,
into my list now, because once I get the PS5, I'm going to want to play Horizon pretty badly.
Yeah, I mean, that theoretically is going to be the best looking game you're going to play so far, right?
On the PS5?
Just across the board.
No way.
You don't think?
No way.
What's better looking than Horizon?
Balloon Tower Defense 6.
Oh, fair. I forgot about that.
Ray
but you
traced?
played that already. You ray traced. Dude, your computer
awesome.
would die.
You think so?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
All that water having reflections.
Well, you got to think, it's not even the water having reflections, but like the balloons would block out the light, and every balloon is translucent.
Fuck. Yeah,
and as you're
yeah.
popping them, the light has to go in between
that
them
would
all.
Be awesome.
And not only that, but true ray tracing takes the color of the bounced light. So if you have all those different color balloons and lights hitting it and bouncing it onto other balloons and onto the different surfaces and stuff, get out of here. Round one, your computer's like, nope, and it goes right to sleep.
How many years until we can ray trace Balloon Tower Defense? That's awesome. I love that. All right. Speaking of rating games.
Yes.
Did we rate a game last week? Vampire Survivors, maybe?
We did. Yeah, and I actually put that on. It's on there.
88.
88. Yeah.
Vampire Survivors is better, and I know you don't want me saying this,
yeah,
than Left 4 Dead 2.
I know.
People are so mad.
The way to describe that is Vampire Survivors did, and the crazy thing is that's still in early access.
So
it's only good.
Imagine that like being a full game.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Vampire Survivors, if taken in its own merit and does it achieve what it sets out to do.
Exactly.
It does a better job of achieving that than Left 4 Dead 2.
Couldn't have said it better myself. What's the expectation? What are you trying to set out to do? What are your goals, right?
Yeah.
Do you meet that?
Now, would I always choose Vampire Survivors over Left 4 Dead 2 in terms of what to play? No, but in its
I like
silo.
to describe it as this as well. They're both in the gold tier, which you can chalk that up to preference at that point.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I like the tier system is along with the rating. Like, yes, we technically rated it higher, but we are saying that these are gold tier games. They can be interchangeable due to preference, what you're in the mood for, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's a good way of putting it.
Whereas if you're describing a gold to a silver tier game, yes, we definitively think that Left 4 Dead 2 is better than Left 4 Dead 1. No matter the circumstance. So that's kind of where my head's at with that. That being said, we are still in the C section.
I don't know if you... Yeah,
I can say that.
We're going to cut it open and see what's in there, I guess.
Yep. That's so fucked up. We are going to Cyberpunk. I'm just going to stop trying. Cyberpunk 2077 is the next game on the list. Let's talk about it. Cyberpunk 2077. So you played this. You beat it.
Right? I played it and beat it when it came out before all the patches. So that's clear. Like that's something that does need to get kind of brought up. Is I played it day one.
Yes.
And beat it. I put probably 20 hours into it.
Is this 2020 when that came out? End of 2020.
Yeah. So was it? Because it was.
Wasn't end of 2021.
It was end of 2020 and in part of the 2021 Game Awards. Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So my experience with this is a little bit different, where I waited a couple months because I didn't buy my computer. I was going to buy my new computer for this game.
Right. Yeah.
But due to a couple things, I had to wait. And then turns out Cyberpunk wasn't as good as everyone thought. So I waited on that. I wasn't in a rush anymore. So I did get it a couple months after. A couple patches came through. This is going to be a tough game to rate because of everything that happened surrounding it.
Yeah.
On paper, this should be my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
But in execution, obviously not going to be the case. But I'll just start with my experience. I had a blast with this game. Mm-hmm. I did not experience any bugs, really. Nothing major, at least. Like my game, I don't think it crashed once. I didn't experience any crazy glitches or bugs. Maybe something here or there, which in an open world sandbox is going to happen regardless. Like, you know what I mean? Like GTA and Red Dead definitely all have that, right? So I had a really great time with it. I actually really enjoyed the story. I didn't think I was going to. I didn't think it was the best story. I actually was expecting just like a more normal, like you're trying to make your way up in the city, but it kind of subverts that. Like you already made it and then you like died, quote unquote. And then I guess spoilers. Well, that's in the first like fucking 10 minutes of the game.
Sure. I mean, that's probably the trailer.
Yeah, right. And then you kind of work your way back because everyone thinks you were dead or whatever, right?
Yeah, so, I guess it depends on your.
So I would rather have it been more. I think less would have been more there. I know they want to craft like a really good narrative, and I thought it was good. But in terms of the narrative, I wish it was just like you moved to Night City, you just want to make it big. That's your dream, because that's kind of like when you start out. It's you and your friend. And you're like, we're gonna make it big, and then you kind of do, and then. Or wait, yeah. You get like, well, I did like a corpo guy, so it was like a big.
I think
big
I did too, and it gives you a pretty good like intro. Like they do like a little montage and stuff, and I thought that was all super cool. The animations looked very good and stuff, and like when it's firing on all cylinders, and I love that phrase when it's firing on all cylinders. It's just really, it's really good.
It's a car phrase.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to come
internal
to your level,
combustion engine phrase.
The thing with it is, it's if it like. The gameplay itself was I was going through the motions and I was playing through it, and I agree with you on paper it should be I should love this game,
right?
But it's I didn't think they did as good of a job with like side missions and understanding like what's what and how things are, and I think that was intentional in a way to try to be a little bit more like Emergent, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the side mission. Oh, this is like a big deal, and like this it's like expands out, and you have like this whole big narrative and things, which is cool.
Yeah.
But, and this is my own dumb like video game brain of like, no, I need to know what are like quote unquote good missions and what are filler missions, because if I want to play for like an hour, I'm going to do like a filler mission. Oh, this is going to take me 3 hours to complete.
Right.
Stuff like that.
That's important. Yeah. To distinguish.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Like this is your main, well, I think it does, but yeah, it's not as clear. It's not as clear.
Yeah. And like you were talking about like the percentage of like, okay, this is what you're missing. There's just so much going on, and it's like an overload to your senses on like, I mean, you're in this like Sin City. No, that's not right. What was it like? What's the name of the city?
I just said it.
I don't know.
Oh my god! Rewind, I just fucking said it. Yeah.
But it's this city of just like
Night City.
Like just so much going on, and I found myself kind of like wondering a little bit aimlessly at times, where I'm like, okay, I don't really know what I should do. And how you were saying there were no bugs. I'm not saying bugs necessarily ruined my experience, but there were definitely some bugs where I would spend a good chunk of time trying to find a specific mission or talk to somebody or have them follow me or do these things that just, it wasn't interacting the way it was supposed to. And sometimes 100% my fault. I did something wrong. I missed something, whatever, and it wouldn't progress. Other times, not so much. But then because of all the press and everything happening with it, I never understood, is this me? Is it the game? And it was just a very frustrating experience in that regard.
Yeah.
That all being said, I thought the story was actually pretty good. I was actually kind of into Johnny. So like,
he grew on me.
Yeah,
like, he grew on me. At first I was like, oh, this is fucking stupid.
Keanu Reeves
then
was
Keanu
fine.
Reeves just wins you over, man.
Yeah. Do I think he's the best voice actor in the world? No. But
it's Keanu Reeves, man.
It was okay.
No, I thought he did good. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not the best voice actor in the world, but it was a little weird at first. I was like, that's just Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
But then I kind of got into it. I don't know. I thought it was good. I like going through his, like, you kind of learn about his story, and that was cool, I thought. But yeah, the cutscenes were so sick.
Yeah.
Like, they look so good. I myself, like, that's my favorite environment, like urban, big city, man. Like, that's futuristic. Like, that's just John's alley right there. Like, it should be my favorite game of all time. So, like you said, when it is running on all cylinders, I just found myself walking around, looking up, and it looked really good on my rig. Like, I had 3080.
You had the best computer you could put to that.
So it looked fucking awesome. So I did really enjoy that. Like, I would literally just look around. I would just look out to sea, just feed the birds. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Did you feel that exploration was rewarded? When you really think about it.
No, absolutely not.
That kind of gets to me too. And again, I largely liked the game. I thought it was good. It wasn't like, so I know our friend Mike like played through it like multiple playthroughs.
Yeah, he really enjoyed
things.
it.
Like he went hard on it.
Right.
For me, I got my ending and I was like, oh, okay. Like it was not a great ending in terms of like happiness. The happiness meter was pretty low.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, no, out of everything that I played and how I did this and all the choices I made, I'm like, this is the ending I should have got. It feels connected. It feels like, yeah, okay. Like, shit. But I liked it. And that was good.
Yeah.
But the one thing is with a city like that, if I want to start, like, if it's so detailed, it was pretty detailed.
Yeah.
But if I want to start, like, kind of poking and prodding and be like, oh, what's over here? What's it? Like, I didn't feel like I was ever necessarily rewarded. It was a lot of, like, window dressing.
Exactly.
But when you put it up against things like Dying Light, even where Dying Light, like even if it's something minuscule, just like, oh, you're just gonna loot this stuff, or oh, you found like an Easter egg here, or you do this stuff,
right?
And maybe I was just bad at finding them in Cyberpunk, but it seemed like whenever I wanted to explore in Cyberpunk, I never felt like I was progressing anything or doing anything,
right? And
the only time that you actually had the game interact with you was when you were following a very specific narrative.
Exactly.
Of, like, go
totally
here,
agree.
go here, do that.
And what I compare to is like a Red Dead 2.
Okay.
Like, I mean, talk about a world that's alive. Like these little things, like they're not even side missions. They're just like these little events that play out.
Like even Skyrim, people have their daily routines and stuff.
Absolutely. So you look at other open worlds, and wow, I think they got a little bit too big picture. Like they didn't work on what was already established in a Skyrim, in a GTA, in a Red Dead.
Well, look at Witcher and keep it within the same studio, and look at how dense Witcher was.
That's what I'm saying. It felt more alive. Such a missed opportunity. Like, something I go to is like, you know how whatever area you're in or whatever type of job you're doing, you get like a certain person. What are they called? Like, I forget the terminology for them, but they like run the streets or whatever. They run that particular thing.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think it's whatever area you're in. They'll give you the job and they'll talk to you over
like
the
a
phone.
handler type of
thing. Yeah. I forget what it's called. There's like a certain name for it, but they'll call you and they'll be like, "Hey, I need this stolen." Blah blah blah. I don't think they do a good job of introducing you to them. First of all, okay, because you can actually go see them in person. I didn't even know that till I stumbled upon it like accidentally.
Yeah,
and then like I don't know, it was really weird. I think they could have did a better job with that. And like I was talking about before in my snowboarding Demon Souls game, I really appreciate like a world feels alive when they call back to things that you've done. So if you're stealing from this corporation, maybe they'll randomly send guys after you. Maybe you'll get called by one of the bosses, or maybe you establish more of a relationship with certain people who are hiring you with gigs or something like that, and then you unlock more things. Like, I think there was a very big missed opportunity in that sort of aspect where you are affecting the world in real time with all these jobs you're pulling off, right? So, I think they just ran out of time. I think they bit off more than they could chew. And you kind of see, like you were talking about with the window dressing, like it's a little bit more of aesthetic than really dense.
These two like prostitutes will always be on this corner, no matter what time of day you get. Like, I would love to see some sort of like interactive, like, oh, this person will only be here at such and such a time, and like, I understand it's a giant thing, but like, does a giant, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say lifeless world, just because again it is all like window dressing,
right.
Is that more impactful than if you sectioned off just a quarter of the city?
Exactly.
But it was such a dense, like, you could literally go into this shop at this time because it's open from 9 to 5 or whatever. Like, I think that could be.
And maybe there's like a random event in that shop where
on a certain day or that you encounter. Like if
totally agree. I rather the latter, right? I rather they get rid of all the wasteland stuff. Just focus on the city.
Yeah.
And it's not as expansive, but I like that detailed. It feels alive. Not that it's just a vast world, but I did enjoy it. I thought it looked good. I actually really liked the combat. I did a sneaky archer. So
I always do sneaky stuff too.
Sneaky archer, man.
Did you feel like that was as...
I had a ton of fun with
that. Did you?
Okay. Oh, yeah. I was one-shotting people. I know that like Nate was saying like, oh, everyone's a bullet sponge. I didn't run into that problem because I was one-shotting people. Like, I put everything in the stealth. Like, if it was like the first hit on them, if it was a headshot, it just did unbelievable damage. Like, I'm just blowing people up like one shot. It was awesome. So I had a lot of fun with the combat.
I like the stealth approach too. So like your splinter cells and stuff like that, where like you can sneak in and like, I would love to go to a base and take everyone out. So that's like your
that's
phantom
exactly what I did.
and stuff.
Yep.
I wasn't hitting that. Maybe I just spec'd incorrectly, or I didn't have the right like implants and stuff like that. Like, I didn't get too much into speccing your character out.
Sure.
But I mean, that's part of it, where it's like, oh, I want to spend all this time like looking cool, but then like the best gear does not make you look cool. Like, you need,
they
like,
actually fixed that in the new update where you can hide your gear now.
Stuff.
Yep.
See, like,
so
that alone
should have been in there.
It.
Exactly. Yeah. So we can only talk about the experience that we had. So
I mean, technically, every time I looked in the mirror, I was absolutely naked. Every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you do like the prompt where you wipe the mirror down, or you look in the mirror, my clothes never came on.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep.
Maybe you were
That's just a bug.
Taking your clothes off before you got in the bathroom shower.
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't know. There were so many bugs in that game.
Yeah, there were a lot. I didn't run into many. All right, let's rate this game.
Yeah.
This is tough for me. Because, like, are we rating this based off our own experience? Are we rating this on everything that happened?
So I will say, largely, I don't... Like, if I went back and played it, I don't think I would have a drastically different experience, because the things that I had little frustrations here and there due to bugs, for sure.
Yep.
But I can typically overlook that stuff if, like, the game... Like, you know how much I like gameplay, right?
Yes, yeah.
I thought
absolutely.
the gameplay was fine. But again, it's one of those things, like... I played a very specific way. Something else might have been more fun. Like I was watching people like shoot out like spike arms and then murder people that way and do different things. Where I'm like, oh, if I maybe went that route, I would have more fun.
I played exactly how I wanted to, and it was a blast.
Yeah, and it sounds like we played largely the same. So it wasn't bad, but do I think it was as good as like Phantom Pain? Not that they're apples and apples to apples.
Sure. If you're
but in terms of stealth,
I would say I'd rather play Skyrim stealth.
I mean,
Sneaky Archer in Skyrim is the OG, like bro.
I'm talking sneaky as in I can trap everything. Like, okay, so sneaky is in like Arkham, like or something along those lines.
Those are different games.
It is, but it's still that's
literally
sneak.
like an aspect of the Arkham games. Like this is a style of play that you can choose.
Yeah, and I think that was maybe the thing that was bummer to me is like I wanted to see that maybe more fleshed out. And maybe that was not fair. I don't know, but
yeah, in a game like that, it's tough because it's like you have so many variety of ways you can go in running and gunning. You have close combat. You have like the hacker tree and stuff.
Yeah. Did you like the driving? How do you feel about the driving in the game?
The driving was pretty rough.
Yeah.
They've apparently fixed it now, but it was pretty rough when I was playing. It was very
I didn't know
icy,
if they had
like
fixed it.
Slippery.
Yeah.
It felt like you were on skates.
It was almost like Grand Theft Auto was like better, and I don't like Grand Theft Auto driving.
Right. So, yeah, that was rough. I did enjoy collecting all the cars and stuff though. Like,
I'm sure.
I was telling you, like I have this ritual in that game where I park all my cars in the parking lot.
Yeah,
they save there too, which is awesome.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that part of it. So. And it connects right to my room. So I come down from my apartment into the garage. I have 8 cars. That's just a whole level of the parking garage.
You played as a guy too. So I played as a girl, and the thing that like you have like all your different romance options and different things like that. And the bummer,
you have like barely any.
Right. And the bummer was like the one that I was like, oh, I feel like a connection here. Like I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, she like shoots you down. I'm like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah,
that was it.
So there's one
like,
who's straight, there's one who's gay, and same thing for the guys.
Yep.
There's one option based on who you are.
Yep.
Or 2.
And it's strictly, which I guess to be fair, that's life. But it was like, all right, you can connect very close with this person, but like tough.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Like if it's the same in Mass Effect. Like,
yeah. Oh no.
If you're a girl, you can't sleep with Miranda. What I will say. When you have one or 2 choices per, like if you're a guy, you have 2 choices. You can either be gay or straight.
Right.
Like that's like what if you don't connect? What if you want to be gay and you don't like that guy though?
Yeah.
There should be more options, I guess.
Or they just make it open enough in the story that if you want to pursue that relationship, it just kind of bends to you. Like it's not going to, you know what I mean? Like it's a game. Like you can be flexible on that stuff. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this guy is only straight or only gay. Like
that's true too.
It felt like
you have some like Liara, right? You can go both ways.
Well, yeah, I'm not even saying make it this person is bisexual in a overt way. I'm just saying behind the scenes be like, okay, we have these 2 characters. If you're going for this person, logic says, okay, this person's gay, this person's straight, and like just flip it narratively behind the scenes so it still feels where it's like, oh, we can tell this player is trying to pursue a relationship for this one.
Right.
We'll allow that because they want to get experience.
I can see that.
Then again, maybe
I just think you need more options. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know.
And even like if it's like more in my like they're not even a part of the story as much.
Yeah. I mean, in a funny way, it was like, oh, this is like it fit in the like being straight up denied fit within the story. So it was like, okay, like that adds to the narrative. Like cool.
It looks like your playthrough you got fucked pretty hard.
I didn't. That was part of no. So it was good. Like narratively speaking, I was happy with it.
Yeah.
And I told Mike the like the storyline that I picked or whatever, and he's like, oh, you got that one, and it's just like, yeah, I was happy with it.
There's like a secret one you can get, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I guess I won't spoil it, but all right, where are you thinking ballpark for this one?
I mean, low 80s. You higher than that?
Yeah, I was maybe around, and I'm a little biased. Like I know I'm higher on this than most people, so I can come down to like an 83.
83. How much did you like? Would you say that's the favorite game you played in 2020 or 2021 or anything like that? Well, okay, fair enough. Yeah, Does it do anything better than anything else?
It looked very good.
Okay, visuals.
No, I don't think it did anything the best. It's not like, oh, this did the best out of any game, but
yeah,
that doesn't mean it's not in the 80s.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to think like, okay, can I meet you up? Have like you were coming all the way down to 83. Can I meet you up and maybe put it like an 85?
I'm good at 83. I mean, the visuals were really good. I thought the story was good as well. I liked the gameplay personally, but I can definitely understand. Like, I know that like a lot of people didn't like the close combat. It was kind of a mess at the start of things. I know the hacking was kind of wonky, and
the hacking was a weird mini game, and maybe I just didn't understand it.
I for a game where that's pretty prevalent,
right.
I think it could have been way better.
And I think that's part of it, where it's like if you're being this stealthy person and you're going that route where you're like going in and hacking and doing all this stuff and like doing the different cameras and stuff, it's like that needs to be like if it's in the game, it needs to be better. Like if that's a very true path and your advertising is like you can go get guns blazing or you can go in stealth. It's like all right, well then you need to flesh your stealth side out a little bit. That's kind of where I was at.
I think that's So I think 83 sounds about right.
Give you an 83. Like if I personally was being honest, I would be like 79, 80 is how. But that's again, I was thinking 85.
I was thinking 85.
Yeah,
based off my personal experience. So I feel good about coming down to like 83, mid. 82, 83, whatever you want.
Sure, I'll do 83.
83. What is that? Silver tier?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as. Like, of course, we're talking about PC version, obviously. Yep. Like, if you're playing on console, good luck.
Console, they literally ripped it off the console. Like, they just came back.
On a console, it's like a fucking 50. Like, it's a failing. Yeah. It's just a fail. Like, that would be the first.
Like I said, my experience was fine. Like, even my computer, like, the graphics card did a lot of the heavy lifting. But it forced itself through.
I just really liked it. I enjoyed my experience. I think it could have been so much better. I mean, if that game really delivered, it would be one of my favorite games of all time. But unfortunately, there's just a lot of things. I think they ran out of time. I think they bit off more than they could chew, and it kind of cost them. But
to be fair, I love the opening. And this is a game that I was like super into. The montage, the way everyone's acting and talking in the different like
love the atmosphere of the game.
I was like, this is a great opening.
Yeah.
And then again, by the end, it was like, well, I could do all of these side missions. And it was kind of the same thing of like, if you go up this elevator, that's the end. And like, all right, let me end. I just let's end this thing. Yep. And I was happy with the ending. So it was fun.
I was good. I'm glad I played it. I might go take another look at it. Maybe I know that I was saying before that I know you won't, but they just came out with 1.5.
Yeah,
it might be worth another. Well,
look. They're supposed to do like DLC or something, right?
I think they're gonna fucking scrap. I think they just failed, man.
I think they go straight to Witcher 4. I mean, they already talked about Witcher.
They just wrap it up. You failed. You learn from it. Move on.
EA that.
Yikes! Add some microtransactions. Call it a day.
No! Can you imagine?
I would.
I will actually be very interested. Like, it's funny how short people's memories are, where they say like, "Hey, we're doing another Witcher thing," and then everyone's losing their minds. It's the best thing in the world. Yeah.
Well, that's because they haven't fucked up Witcher yet. Whereas Cyberpunk was like,
yeah, but like, oh, that's
fair.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right, man. I think it's time.
It is time.
I think it's time to list a category in terms of our 5 favorite.
That's a way to put it.
That's a different way to put it. I'm going to grab a drink.
Okay. Can you get me a drink then as well?
Why don't you explain to the audience what we're doing this week?
This is something that we wanted to talk about for a while. We are going to be doing the top 5 game mechanics. And this one's going to be funny because I was going online and researching what a game mechanic in fact was. Like, because when I'm thinking game mechanics, I'm like, hey, this no fall damage is pretty rad, right? I think it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
But I was looking online, it's just like people are talking about very specific, like the Leviathan axe from.
That's what I found too, but I didn't do those.
Neither did I. I want to be a little bit more broad. Yeah. So I think if we want to, and again, this is kind of just diving into the rules section. Yeah. If we want to list specific best uses of a more generic thing, and that'll make more sense in a little bit, I think that's cool, and I'm down for that. But I would like to maybe keep this a little bit more broad.
Yeah.
Overall, so
mine are very broad, so I will be completely transparent on this one. I struggled with this. I wasn't quite understand where you want to come from.
I forced this through a little bit.
I'm happy to do it. I know you're very excited about this one. I'm going to start naming mine, and then we'll try to come to a consensus. I just hope it's what you were kind of thinking.
Well, and we'll talk about it. We did letters and numbers. We can do anything, my friend.
I know. Hey, we'll rate anything, my friend. But I'm just not sure. You were very specific in what you wanted.
The original thing was top 5 worst game mechanics.
Yeah.
That was the spirit of this, and then it shifted a little bit. So we might even go back and do that at some point because
I think we absolutely have to.
I think that's a little bit easier to like nail down. Weapon degradation. That's bullcrap. Anyway, what's your first one? You want to hit us off, and we can
sprint.
There
was a time where you couldn't sprint in games, and then they added the mechanic of sprinting.
Yeah,
I think it's very good.
Okay. So
do you have something more specific than that's what I wasn't sure, like unlimited sprint or?
So yes, okay, and that's kind of what I would like to talk through. Where like sprint's good, but what is like the top? So for me, it's like okay, stamina sucks. Generally speaking,
right?
If you have a stamina meter, I understand some games build around it.
Yeah,
not fun for me.
Yeah, especially when it's just sprinting.
Yeah, like if you're sprinting around, like if you're strafing and doing different things, I think that a good unlimited sprint, I could get behind that.
Unlimited sprint, yeah. I think that should be on the maybes. That was my first one.
All right, yeah, let me put that on.
Like think of a game without sprint.
Right. Oh,
it's just a necessity now, right?
Yeah, well, anything that doesn't have it is too slow. You go back and play Halo, and it's just like, oh my gosh, why
that's
are
a great
we
example,
crawling through this? Yeah,
so slow now. Sure. Now the new Halo, like I remember when they first added sprint in Halo Reach, it was one of the armor abilities.
Right.
People were like, oh, the armor abilities are in the game. I actually like the armor abilities.
Yeah,
and that was kind of cool because you didn't have to pick sprint. But as we go on throughout the Halos, like the new one would suck without sprint. Like I really enjoy where they're at with it.
But at the same time, like if you're sprinting in Halo, you're typically losing gunfights. So it's funny how they did a perfect balance there.
That's anything though. It's COD.
COD, you can slide and shoot, and there's literally abilities that keep your gun up.
I haven't played COD since like Modern Warfare 3.
Well,
so yeah. All right, you're up, buddy.
All right, so mine, I would like to call in to favor the grappling hook. And the way I'm looking at this, I view this as kind of like an overarching thing. So when I say grappling hook, I'm talking you shoot something out. So that can be like Arkham City with the grappling hook.
Yeah.
That can be Spider-Man with the web slinging.
Yeah.
Right? And if we want to split those out, we could. But I feel like they have
I think it's the
similar
same
mechanics.
It's a line.
It's a line that either you're zipping through or you're swinging on or whatever. So I played a game called Flint Hook, which was about a ghost pirate.
Of course.
And the whole point of the game was you would just use a grappling hook and like hook around the map as you're taking out enemies. Super fun. But I feel like when done correctly, grappling hooks are the best. When you look at Halo, a grappling hook is phenomenal. When you look at Titanfall, a grappling hook is phenomenal. I think that's a very like the physics definitely play a part in it, but I think overall the mobility and like the verticality that you get with it a lot of the time is just
what it unlocks.
It's really, really, really good. Yeah,
is awesome in terms of movement. I mean, I think we're going to see a common theme here where movement is extremely important.
It's the feel. It's the gameplay of the game itself. Yeah.
Halo Infinite was like that's the best part of the campaign in my opinion. Yeah, the grappling hook. Just do so many things with it.
Playing through that and then going back to multiplayer, you're a god. You could very quickly tell who played through the campaign.
Yeah.
And who couldn't, at least, I mean, now everyone I'm sure has, but like.
I also like the fact that you kind of feel like you're Master Chief in the campaign, and then you go online and it's like, oh, this is just a regular Spartan.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like a little, but yeah, definitely grappling hook's very cool. I put that on the maybes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it in yet, but.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I talked about this a little bit, and you might disagree. Aim down sights.
Yeah. So tell me about aim down sights. Like, what's the.
So we talk about something like original Doom or Wolfenstein, and like those are like some of the first shooters, if I'm not mistaken, right? And you kind of just have a gun, and it's just like hip firing. I guess the gun's like in the middle. Anyways, aim down sights just changed the game. I don't know which game actually did aim down sights first, but you can't have a first person shooter now without having aim down sights. You would be completely barbaric.
Yeah.
So it completely revolutionized the genre. Now, obviously it's not all encompassing, where it's not going to be every genre. It's mainly just FPS,
Right.
but it is a staple with that, and you can never have an FPS again without having aim down sights.
So you're saying that if a game came out without aim down sights, it would just automatically be like bad.
First person
just
shooter,
like
yeah.
Sprint.
Yes.
I gotcha. Okay.
Like even look at like Left 4 Dead. It feels very janky to go back to Left 4 Dead and not have aim down sights, but then you play Back 4 Blood. It feels so much better to actually aim down, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
I think it's a must.
So one I had here. Do you know what iframes are, or invincible frames?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Invincibility frames.
Yeah. So that to me, so like just playing Tunic recently, Elden Ring, stuff like that, it got me thinking on like when, and maybe we broaden it to like a invincible dodge or something.
I literally
along
have
those lines.
dodge roll next.
Yeah.
Combat roll. So I think we're on the same page here, kind of. You're a little bit more specific with it, but yeah.
Well, it's a specific role because
Yeah.
I like the idea that any attack coming at you, if you time it correctly, you can get through it.
Like a Gears of War.
I didn't even know Gears of War
Yeah.
had that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Your roll will have an invincibility frame.
I'm thinking Hades. I'm thinking, like I said, Tunic and Elden Ring. And
There's
that
a lot
sort
of
thing.
games that have the dodge roll.
But there are games that have it where if you roll, and I think Monster Hunter was one of these, where if you try to roll and you just roll into the monster, it's just like funk. And then you can, like, so if they attack you, you feel too clumsy. Where I'm like, for me, as long as I can roll and get through their tail and like clip through their tail or whatever, that's fun to me. It's the same kind of thing with, well, not to jump ahead on my list, but like. The same thing with like parrying and countering and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
like,
very similar.
If it's done correctly, it feels good because you're like, haha, I
same thing with Final Fantasy Remake.
Yeah,
invincibility frames on the roll feels really good. Yeah, I'm down for that one. That kind of ties into my next one, which was dodge roll, but that's a little more specific. So I think if that's where you want to go with that, yeah.
I mean, we could say like iframe roll or dodge roll or whatever. I mean, that's all
iframe
the same.
movement.
Yeah,
because in Hades it's not a roll.
That's true. You zip around, and I guess technically, well, that's part of it.
Feels really good in Hades though. When you're just fucking zipping, you get like the double dash and shit, like the triple. You get the triple, and you're just like, there's just explosions going everywhere, and you're just not getting hit. It feels really good.
And it's the same thing in Tunic, where Tunic starts out with a very like slow roll. And then by the end of the game, you're like, you're zipping. Flying. Yeah. It's really cool. Good.
All right. So dodge roll, I had next. Next up after that, double jump.
Yeah. Or maybe say multiple jump.
Multiple jump. Sure. Yeah. This feels so good. Like that extra jump, man. When you can't double jump, how do I even phrase this? How magical a double jump is.
Yeah.
It's like it just completely unlocks a new side of things. I don't even know what was the first fucking game that had a double jump, but man, does it feel good.
I'm sure there's like maybe like a Metroid or something. I don't know.
I mean, you like look at like Super Mario Bros. And it's like you have one jump, but what was the first? Is there a double jump in any of the Super Mario Bros? Maybe like Super Mario 64.
They don't. I don't think it's like necessarily a double jump. You can like jump higher if you do certain things. Like you have like a cape and you can.
I just think the double jump is just super cool. It just allows you to get to new areas. It is like an oh shit. You can like time it.
Yep.
You know, if something's coming at you, you have another extra thing where you're in midair. Like a lot of games before the double jump, like you're just in midair and you're fucked.
Yeah.
But now you have options. I don't know. I think it's really cool.
And it's a cool mechanic in the way that it can gate a lot of stuff. So you talk about these Metroidvanias, or you have different areas of the map that are locked off, and then once you get the double jump, it's like you get to revisit areas and look in a whole new way of like, oh, I can make it up there.
Which is always like when you can not even reskin, when you can have the same area and it's in completely different light, that's always a huge plus, right?
Right.
Double jump?
Yeah.
I think that should be there.
What do you think about any type of like slowdown or...
Yep, I have bullet time.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
I'm down. I think it's cool. Now, is it like a top 5 mechanic? No, because it's a little bit more gimmicky. But
bullet time's so when I think of bullet time, and you never played Ori and the Blind Forest, huh? Mm-mm. So that's kind of the same thing where it maybe it's not so much bullet time as it is like if you're in the middle of combat or something and you do so, like for instance Bayonetta, if you do a perfect dodge, it slows the whole game down, and it lets you be like, oh, I'm in the zone and I get to like pick out my next move. It's like a free move or something like that. So when I think of slowing down stuff, that's what I think. Or in Ori and the Blind Forest, you get an ability where if there's a projectile shooting at you, you could like hold it Y and it actually gives you an arrow and everything slows down and you can use that projectile to like basically jump in the opposite way. So if someone shoots a projectile at you, it's very hard to describe on the air. You hit it, and then basically you pick the direction you want to go, and the projectile will go in the opposite way. So if somebody's shooting at you,
like bounce off the kind of
basically. If somebody shoots at you, you jump on it. You shoot the other way and shoot the projectile back at them or at a different enemy or something like that. It's cool. A very cool mechanic.
So that's like, I mean, obviously Max Payne, bullet time. You have Ori and the Blind Forest. You have Bayonetta. You have Final Fantasy Remake.
Yep.
I mean, that's the same thing you're describing, right? Like you have your menu, everything's slowed down, and then you can pick the spells you're doing, what your team's doing. I think that's the same kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you have like your Horizon where you're slowing down, or your Shadow of War where you're slowing down and shooting. That's
right.
So I think it's all in the same category, right?
It lets you flourish a little bit, or it lets you show off a little bit, or if you're showing your friend, like, oh yeah, check this out.
No. I think it's really cool. I don't know if it quite makes top 5. I'm willing to put it on the maybes right now.
I mean, we don't have to. I'm not going to fight for that one specifically, but
it's really cool.
Yeah,
but
I mean, hey, we'll put it.
Just put it there. We'll talk about it.
We are being very broad on a lot of this stuff.
I love how everything's made. It's we'll definitely have to cut things down. All right, am I up?
Yeah.
Fast travel.
Fast travel's good.
Amazing.
And I guess one of the caveats to this would be like we're talking about the best versions of these things.
Yeah.
So fast travel, when I'm thinking of, like, can you fast travel? Like you pull up the map. In my opinion, the best fast travel is you pull up the map, you say, "Oh, I want to go here." You hit it, and it's like 2 seconds, and you're there.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, I have to run to a fast travel point to then fast travel.
So Fallout, I believe you just on the map, you go right there, right?
I don't play Fallout games.
In Horizon, I think it's like the campfires, so that's a little bit.
It is the campfires,
but you can go from anywhere, so that's.
And I think you eventually unlock like the unlimited and stuff,
which is cool. The best version. Fast travel is awesome.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse than backtracking. There's nothing worse than if it's not a new area, slogging back and forth to like 2 different things. I don't know. Fast travel, anything that can save time of like filler, big fan of. I think fast travel is like such a must now. In an open world game, you have to have fast travel.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
I know I mentioned it before when we're talking about parrying. So like when you're talking about like the Arkham games, where you're talking about like even Elden Ring. Like
my favorite parry, Assassin's Creed.
2, you mean?
Any of them.
Well,
the earlier ones.
I was going to say the original ones.
Like, yeah, you were just mashing X.
Yeah.
But it was so satisfying just fucking killing everyone.
So my thing with parrying
you like the timing aspect.
I like the timing, but I like a single button press. I don't like, in order to parry, you have to start the parry before the person attacks and time it correctly. So as you're swinging, they're swinging, and it's a perfect parry. Yeah. That's too much for my dumb brain to hit.
And that's Tunic?
That is Tunic, yeah. So I did it a couple times in Tunic, but it turns out like, why would I parry when I can literally just roll around you? So Elden Ring's a little bit better, more or less. So like with Elden Ring, if you block something with a shield, you can do a heavy attack and you hear like a little like sound cue that's just like, oh, you got it, good.
Yeah.
Batman, obviously, where it's like, oh, lightning bolts are above someone's head, hit Y, and it looks really cool because it's fun,
Shadow of War is a great one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Same thing.
You get the regular parry, and then the blue comes up. And it's like an advanced one. You throw them on the ground. Mm-hmm. That one feels really good too. So I think that's one of my favorite.
It's a strong one. Yeah.
That game's so fun. Parrying's good. Important.
Cool.
I All right, my turn.
Yeah.
Minimap.
Minimap. Specifically, so with the minimap, are you saying you need one to enjoy a game? Or does like a secondary map help at all? Or what do you like the minimap for?
Minimap is super useful in single player games to just quickly, you don't have to keep opening and shutting your map. You can get a quick idea of everything. In multiplayer games, it's a must. Halo, your like radar kind of thing. I guess that's kind of the same thing. Maybe it's different. Maybe radar is different. But in like Call of Duty, for example, a must. A minimap's a must. You can see where the enemies are when they're shooting.
I think that's a type UAV. Of minimap. Yeah, sure.
I just think minimap is a lot of the applications super useful. Like imagine games like without a minimap now. You have to literally open your fucking map, pause the game, check where you're at, unpause.
Yep.
Then you have to go again. It's just like I said, saves you time, gives you a quick look. Now I know specifically you were talking about the rotation.
My mini-maps have to rotate. If my mini-map does not rotate, I think it's a huge waste of space.
Exactly.
And my
so
brain
we're talking best version.
Yeah.
So we're talking rotating mini-map.
Sure. Do you like square or circle?
I like square.
Square.
Yeah, this is the CODs. That's what I'm used to.
All right.
I'm a heathen.
I'll put mini-map on. I think that it's...
Imagine an open world game without a mini-map. Imagine a Call of Duty without a mini-map. I mean, it's just like you need it now. It's such an important mechanic. It's such a necessity, in my opinion. You just have to have it. It would be weird if you didn't have a mini-map. Unless that's like the aesthetic you're going for.
Well,
like
that's
the
problem is like what's the line there? Is it like, does Elden Ring become a better game with a mini-map or a worse game?
True.
Or does it become an unlock where, like, for instance, for Hollow Knight, you don't have a map until you get a certain thing?
I'm saying it's a conscious choice to not have a mini-map.
Yeah.
I think a mini-map's the standard, and then if you're not having a mini-map, you have a specific reason for that.
So these are the top 5...
It's top 5 game mechanics.
Standard mechanics.
It's top 5 game mechanics. I'm just saying, like, like maybe you don't have like a dodge roll for a specific reason. I don't know.
Sure.
Whatever. I'm just saying. I'm not saying most standard. I'm saying best mechanics. It would suck if you didn't have a mini map.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you.
All right. Doesn't seem like you're really with me.
No, I'm with you. I like it. Is it top 5? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll fucking see.
What do you think about assassinations? So I'm talking like get behind a guy, one button press.
I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're top 5.
You don't think they're top 5? You're not a stealth game, huh? Like you don't like the stealthy stuff?
You saw how I play Shadow War. I go in and
nope, that checks.
You have a better chance of getting me with parries and dodges than... I mean, it's cool. Like I was even saying, like I missed Halo where you had assassinations. Like back in Reach and shit.
Yeah, but I don't count that as assassinations. Like
it's totally assassination.
It is, but those are two different.
It's an animation that instantly kills.
It's true, and that would count in the framework. And if that's what gets you to put it on, like that would be something. Counts. My thing is there are two types of assassinations. One is to flex on somebody, and one is you're playing a single player game and you're just trying to like assassinate people. Like you know,
that's fair.
What
still counts.
So here's an interesting. Well, I'm sorry. It's your turn. You can pick one.
Were you gonna add to the?
No, I was gonna be a different one.
Okay. We can add it to the list if you want. If you feel good about it.
Assassination? No, you hate it. You hate.
I don't
idea.
hate it.
No, you hate assassination.
I literally first words I said was it is super cool.
Yeah, you said it's super cool and stupid. All right, go ahead. Pick
off. How do you feel about detective vision?
That's in my top 5 worst.
What?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, I love being able to like visualize what happened.
Okay. So hold on. There's two different things.
Yeah.
So are you talking about detective vision and that you're reconstructing a scene?
Yeah.
So that's different. When I think detective when I think detective vision, it's like, oh hey, follow these footprints. Or hey, follow this. Or I use my Witcher sense.
It's like I haven't played Arkham in a while, but don't you do this in Arkham where you reconstruct a scene, or is it just footprints thing?
A lot of the original Arkham was more of like follow this chemtrail that Poison Ivy left behind.
I totally agree on that. I like reconstructing the scene. I think specifically
Telltale did like an actual scene
in Heavy Rain or something like that, or Detroit 2 Human. Those games. You get the clues and you can reconstruct the fight and see like how everything happened. I think that's super cool.
No, I'm fine with that. When I think, and maybe this is just on me.
So I guess detective vision is a little bit misleading about that.
Yeah, well, like when I think of that, I'm thinking of games that's like, oh, hit this button, it pings the environment, and then all the pickups are lit.
Yeah.
Or you're Batman and you're trying to find all the secret trapdoors, so you spend most of Arkham Asylum in like this neon color, rather than actually enjoying the game.
Right.
That's why I personally don't like it.
That makes sense. For
me, it's if I ping the environment in a gameplay sense, it's like, okay, I know that here are all the different locations. That should just be permanently marked at that point.
Yeah, and Batman, it should be like, maybe they look like techie still, quote unquote.
But just that area.
Yeah. Like just that highlighted box that you're looking at. Yeah, exactly.
Like Dying Light's the most recent example of this, where I'm constantly jamming on the Q button because I'm just like pulse. And it's annoying. Like it's not, and I'm still in the environment, but I'm still constantly like hitting things, and it's just like, it's not.
Totally agree.
Not super fun.
All right. So you hate that? You fucking hate it?
No, I'll put Detective Vision.
No, you literally said it's the worst mechanic.
No, I crossed off. What did I want?
Assassinations.
Crossed off Assassinations, but Detective Vision.
No,
it's totally
take
fine.
it off.
It's not a problem.
I quit.
What do you? So here's a fun one. What do you think about auto aiming?
Correct.
So it's a weird thing. Maybe it's like, maybe auto aiming isn't the right word, but like homing things.
Not a fan.
So let me.
Now that I'm on PC, not a fan.
Well, not like a aim assist. That's different.
Okay.
So what I'm talking about is in the game, it's a game mechanic. If you're saying like, oh, hey, did you ever play you have the smart pistol in Titanfall?
Oh, yep.
And you're running and it's like link. You fire the button and you're just like, brah.
I'll be honest, I've never been a huge fan of that.
Okay. That's fine.
It's okay.
Or like Splinter Cell, which I don't know how much Splinter Cell you played.
Not much.
Where if you assassinate people, different guns. So like, let's say I have a special pistol.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you assassinate 3 people, they get you 3 marks. So what you can do is you'll kill 2 people in the beginning, and the third guy's like right below you, and you get this like kind of, okay, I see 3 guys here. I'm gonna mark 3 guys. I drop down. Yeah. I kill this guy. This gets my third thing. You hit a button, and he does this cool move.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You feel strong about it?
No, but
after all that, so passionate, you're like,
I'm just trying to think of cool like mechanics.
It was just super cool. That's cool.
Actually pretty neat. Like
so I think we might be coming at this from different angles. Like you are like, oh, this is sweet, this is cool. I'm like, this is needed for me to have fun. Or like, if this didn't exist, it would be a pain.
Well, I'm trying to think of mechanics of like, oh, that was clever. So for instance, again, not to double up on this, but like when I'm thinking of Tunic's instruction manual,
right,
that's super clever.
I agree,
but it's also very specific, and I think the spirit of this was more generalized. So that's why I'm not bringing specifically that up.
I see it as like this changed the game since we're doing kind of a broad version.
Yeah,
that's my interpretation of it, and that's why
and that's totally fine. But then, so are we going to be talking about like perks? Or
I don't think perks
or
get there.
Kill streaks.
Very specific to a certain game, but
well, it's not really when you think about
even like Assassin's Creed,
how much it went out, or like how do you feel about like? And do you have other stuff? Because
I have
stuff out there.
Decision trees, like wheels.
Sure.
You don't like that?
No, it's fine. It's good.
What are you talking about?
No, it's funny because I'm like thinking of like, oh, here are all these different like, you're like decision trees. Like, cool. I'm thinking all this like action arcadey stuff gameplay, and you're like, conversation.
I love conversations. I love relationship building and talking. There's nothing better. You can't tell me there's nothing better than seeing that blue Paragon fucking thing come up, and you can select it, and then you talk a whole army down from killing you, and you talk your way out of everything. And it's awesome.
I will honestly say that I think the Telltale games do it better than Mass Effect.
Oh, I totally agree. I'm just using that example just to hit our quota.
Yeah, we talked about Mass Effect already.
I know.
So here's the thing with that. I think is like the one pet peeve I have with decision trees is if you truncate your response, it better be pretty close to what I was hoping it was going to be.
So a Fallout 4, we're talking about best version.
Yeah.
So whatever the best version is on that, I know it's not Mass Effect, but I think Mass Effect does a pretty good job. Yeah. But if it's whatever, the Tall Tale games or whatever your best version of the decision wheel is or tree, definitely. I think Detroit 2 Human did a great job because not only do you have your options that you can choose and what you say, at the end of the level, it shows you the whole tree, where it could have went.
Oh,
and
that's
it shows
super
you
cool.
This is the one you got, and then there's a bunch of like question marks, and there was 16 possible outcomes that could have happened in this scene. That's one of my favorite ones.
That's going to make you replay the game right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tyler would be like, I need to see exactly what happened.
Yeah.
How do I get this? Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that.
I would love to see eventually a decision tree where it's like, okay, you have your 4 decisions, but then you can also say them in specific manners. So you could say like the Paragon thing, but in a sarcastic manner, which then like make it real complex. Oh yeah,
that's our game. That's right.
We claim that. That's our game.
Where we the whole thing is the fucking decision tree.
Or it's like this thing where if you're holding both like joysticks, like you pick like the left joystick is picking the decision and the right joystick is like tone.
Well, that's awesome. In our RPG, it like the problem when you talk about Mass Effect, I'm sure we talked about this a million times. It's like you're kind of, it's good or bad.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like narrowed into it. Now, I enjoyed like what we got out of that.
Yep.
Because like I said, it feels really good to be like, I'm a super good guy and I get the super good guy option. And like, I like inspire everyone, right? And shit. But in our game, we definitely want to be more nuanced where it's like, I'm a very... I don't know. I'm a very outgoing person, so I get this option. Or I'm a very angry person, so I can relate more to this person, right? Because it's more than just good and bad. It's very, very complex. I don't know. Anyways, decision tree has to be on it because it's in our perfect game, our RPG.
It's all there.
It has to be on fucking on the list.
Put it on the list.
All right. Are you have anything left, or were you? I know you were kind of spitballing.
I was going to just start spitballing. So if you want to run through your list,
let me run through mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip that one. How do you feel about sliding?
So slide. Okay, so you're talking like
Sprint
running and slide. I think that's good. I think it's all right.
I don't think it's. Yeah.
Is it? So here's the thing.
Yeah.
The sliding needs to do something. So for instance, in games like Satisfactory, if you slide and then jump, you actually jump like the Hulk. I don't think that was like a thing that they meant to put in, but it was like people like that. It's really cool.
Sure.
So I think that's really cool.
You can in Shadow of War, you can slide tackle people. So it's a method of getting.
That's super cool.
So it's like a combat option too.
When you're talking about something like Apex Legends, where as long as the physics dictate, you're going downhill, you can slide, quote unquote, infinitely. That's super cool too.
Yeah.
So I would put sliding on the list. The only thing is like when we were talking about stuff like SSX. Where I'm like, I like the idea of like not surf, but like snowboarding down a thing.
Yeah.
Journey had that where you're like sliding down this mountain. Like that's probably the best scene in the entire game.
Yeah.
Where you just feel really fluid and that kind of thing. There are definitely games where you're like on like a hoverboard on like, I don't know, Unreal Tournament or something like that, where you have this. Even like think about like the Batmobile where you're like sliding and then you can like strafe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like that almost what is it, like air speeder feel. Like it opens up stuff.
Right.
Transformers had that where you're running and you just immediately transform and now you can like strafe and do different things. Like
I was looking at that game the other day because I was putting together my list and I was like, oh yeah. War on Cybertron or whatever. It was a good game.
Like
I was pretty good at it,
dude. Nothing felt better than like doing like a jump in midair, transforming and like jetting on. Like, oh man,
Starscream.
So cool.
Oh yeah, dude.
Anyway, I got off track, but I would put sliding on the list. I
don't know if it'd be top 5. Like we got to cut things, but I just want to mention it.
Sliding's good. I think this like sliding or maybe snowboarding's a different thing, but I like snowboarding too.
So I had sliding, cover system. Like getting in cover.
Do you like cover systems?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Gears of War, fucking...
I know it's a mechanic. I don't know if I'm like, oh yeah, this game has a cover system? Hell yeah. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like Outriders had a cover system, and it turns out if you're using the cover system, you're playing the game wrong. So
Gears is the real big one where it's like you bust.
And Gears is cool, but Gears is a necessity versus like, are you enjoying that? Or would if push comes to shove, would you rather just be... Instead of having it where like if you're running, you have to roadie run.
Gears is interesting because the cover system is such an involved part of the game where you're like going into cover and you actually use it as movement because you get like a little bit of a slide kind of thing.
I guess when I think cover system, I'm thinking like Rainbow.
Yeah, Rainbow.
Like I think
Rainbow.
It's Ghost Recon or something like that.
Rainbow Vegas.
Where it's like,
the new one.
That's good. Splinter Cell had it. Like when I think cover system, that's the kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
Still not personally my favorite thing in the world.
I had vaulting as well.
Yeah. Vaulting's cool.
Vaulting, climbing.
I would say vaulting. So if you want to take it a step further and say parkour.
Parkour.
Which is very basically Dying Light.
Dying Light.
I would give it to Titanfall. Like
I would give it to Mirror's Edge.
Maybe like wall running. Do you think wall running is better than
wall running? I think parkour kind
of parkour
encapsulates
just everything.
All that.
Yeah.
You think Dying Light's better than Mirror's Edge for parkour?
Yes.
That's the whole fucking game.
I know. I
you ever see a Mirror's Edge speedrun?
Oh, Mirror's Edge people are insane. It's so awesome.
Cool. It's
like,
so
super
cool.
It's super cool. But honestly, I would even say I think Titanfall feels better than Mirror's Edge.
Titanfall is so fluid. I agree. I just think Mirror's Edge is cool because like that's the game.
In Titanfall, maybe it's because you're literally capping people as you're running around
and
like
you're just
walls.
Jumping, you can jack Titans and
grappling, hooking into them and stuff. Yeah.
Titanfall 2 is just the best game of all time. I mean, it's kind of what we're saying.
It's up there. Yeah.
All right, we got a list. Let's narrow it down. We've been at this a while. So.
I know. Yeah, I know. We're going too long. Any last minute things? Like I know I mentioned like perk systems and
how do you feel about like
respawn
points?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of like
I was thinking Elden Ring where like the.
How do you feel about procedurally generated or like infinite levels or anything like that? With
I don't care.
What about tiers of loot? Do you like loot tiers? Is that a good mechanic?
It's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a you thing. That's it. That's definitely.
That's fine. No, we'll do this. We'll see what we got. All right. So we have grappling hook, iframes, unlimited sprint, aim down sights, multiple jumps, slow down time, fast travel, parry, mini map, detective vision, decision trees, and parkour.
Jesus Christ. What do you want to eliminate, man? What's the first thing you want to get off there?
How do you feel about detective vision?
Yeah, let's get rid of it. Yeah, absolutely. I think it is cool.
Fine.
I think it's cool.
It's fine. It's just like if I'm in detective vision, either I'm playing a game that is all about that. So like the Telltale games and stuff in a way.
Yep.
But if I'm playing a Batman game and I'm doing detective vision, that's not what I want. I want to be stalking somebody, taking people out and fighting.
Right.
But
okay.
What about you? What do you?
I can't see the list. So
okay.
Just give me another
one. So we have grappling hooks. So if we're talking, I think grappling hooks should be on the list personally. How do you feel about grappling hooks?
They're cool.
They're cool.
Again, it's like, does a game need a grappling hook?
No. Well, see, I think that's where we're coming at it from two different angles. I think so. Name a game that had a grappling hook that wasn't better for it. Would be my counter to that.
That's
where like
fair
if you take the grappling hook out of
if you take the grappling hook out of Halo, is it a bad game?
It's not as fun.
No,
I'll say that. I don't know if it's necessarily bad, but can you imagine how?
Yeah.
Think about how much you use that thing.
Right. Yeah.
Tell you what. Name the other abilities you get in Halo.
I put it on a list. I have no fucking
take webs out of Spider-Man and tell me.
Once we start adding like webs and shit, like the web slinging might be the best.
If it makes you feel better to say web slinging instead of grappling, I consider
no. Web slinging is under the umbrella of grappling hook.
Take the grappling hook out of Batman.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, how do you feel
every
about
superhero game?
Well, right. So, iframes or dodge.
I think
rolls.
It's good.
I like it.
I do too.
We're just feeling it out.
I want to keep it.
Keep it on the list or on the maybe.
Just go through them and I'll say whether we should keep it or
unlimited sprint. Is it unlimited sprint? Is it mandatory on that too? Like I think it's a very cool mechanic.
Yes. I don't think it's top 5. It's helpful. It's useful.
It's good.
Yeah, I like it, but
there are so many other games that you don't like necessarily need sprint. I will say that Tunic, I didn't know how to sprint.
Oh, really?
You could sprint
Yeah.
from the very, very start.
Is it
didn't know how to.
a weird button or?
Well, you have to hit A to dodge and then hold it. And then
yeah,
after you dodge, you're just sprinting around.
You understand I'm going to be a Tunic expert.
You're going to
ruin the experience.
You're just going to play through it. Yeah.
Like,
well, you asked. That's why I said it.
Guess what? I beat the game without collecting a single page, bitch. Yeah.
All right. So aim down sights.
I think it's pretty good. I know that you don't want it on the list, though.
I'm not saying I don't want it on the list. I'm saying
you can take it off
is it so? No, let's keep. I mean,
no. I mentioned it. I'm good. You should take it off.
And I guess to your point,
I will just say every first-person shooter, it is a staple.
It's
I think
so
it gets
integral
points.
to the part.
Yes.
I guess it's like, was it an aha moment of, oh, we should aim down sights?
I'm sure like the
or
first
was
aim
it,
down
oh,
sights.
we can actually do this with our technology?
Well, yeah, the first aim down sights was like, this is sweet. This is so good.
Was it though? Like
Probably.
That's the thing is like,
yes.
I would even go as further and be just like, hey, remember when you could actually aim with the right stick?
Yeah.
Like that's probably cool.
Sure.
I don't know.
All right. Just because it's the only specific kind of branch,
multiple jumps. I think that's
that's good.
I think you can expand that out. So like multiple jumps, like
wall jumps, back
like
to
triple
back,
jumps, that kind of thing.
jumps.
Like being able to do stuff.
Yeah.
Specialized jumping.
Hopping on people's heads.
I think that goes under parkour.
That's a multiple jump. You jump once as Mario.
Yeah.
Boop. You hit a Goomba, and it's another jump. That's a double jump.
Technically, you're right.
It's a double
you're
jump.
right. You could go multiple jumps. You can do it. Infinite
it's multiple jumps.
Really.
It's under the umbrella.
Yeah. Okay.
Multiple jumps should be on there.
I put it on the list.
Yes.
All
sir.
right. Slow down. I don't think you're super into the slow down.
I think it's cool. And now that we're kind of broadening let's keep it on.
Okay.
Let's keep it on. I don't want to get rid of it yet.
Fast travel.
I'm a very big proponent of fast travel.
Look,
imagine playing an open world game without fast travel. You would hate your life and stop playing.
And I will say most of the games where I 100% it, it's zip here, do this thing.
Yes.
Zip here, do this thing.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Now,
there.
of course, if you're exploring a new area, you explore it.
Yeah.
But then you know it. You don't need to go back.
We're going to be playing Tiny Tina.
Yes.
And that's the same thing where you're going to have fast travel points in there. So, yeah. No,
I want it on the list. If not, we can at least keep it on.
It's already checked. It's on the list.
We got 3 then.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 2 more. All right.
All right. So just to run them through, we have parry, mini maps, decision trees, and parkour.
I want decision trees. Bad.
I can take parkour off if you want to take parkour off.
Really?
It's
because we have the jump on. You think?
Well,
parkour is pretty good.
I would
because I think of parkour as like hopping over enemies, repositioning, sliding through legs.
Yeah, I would almost
wall run.
The problem is
climbing up. I kind of figure like climbing sort of parkour as well.
Can you have a list where multiple jump and parkour are on there?
Can we combine the two? Multiple jump / parkour. Is that blasphemous?
I feel like that's cheating a little bit. I think we need to pick one of those. But okay, so here let me play devil's advocate. We'll put decision trees on. So that's 4.
Okay.
So then that means between dodge roll or like iframes, slow down, parry, mini map, and parkour, we have to pick one of those 5.
What do you feel best about? If you give me decision trees,
I would give you decision trees. Out of those,
decision trees are my favorite. Like you let me pick the dialogue. You tell me that there's multiple options. I'm totally in. Like that's like one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, it's tough because we have the multiple jump.
Yes.
So while I think parkour is good, it's a very specific few games that have it. As much as I love Titanfall, it's still a very specific few games. It's not.
Well, double jump's very platformer-y as well. Like it's not.
It's platformy, but it goes into 3D. You have it with other like
name 5 3D games with double jump.
With double jump?
Yeah.
I mean, we just played It Takes Two that has double jump. We have the
that's a platformer though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a 3D platform. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's.
I'm just saying, like
I'm pretty sure you
have like
the
aim
Jedi
down
game.
sights is very specific to first person shooter. Is double jump / parkour, not parkour. Like parkour, I would argue is more conducive to different things.
Yeah, but who does it well? That's my thing.
Yeah.
Is
Best
parkour
version. Best version.
Well, right, but parkour has to be like feel very good. So then we're talking about feel.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I
do
guess
parkour right, it
technically-
feels very good.
Yeah.
What's best version?
Well, I would say parkour feels better than multiple jumps then.
I think
Is that what we're
kind of
saying right
reading
now?
you there. Yeah, because like best
Oh my
parkour
gosh.
game, Titanfall 2, or like that's your opinion. What's the best multiple jump game?
For feel, I would probably say like you're getting into like an Ori and the Blind Forest
Sure.
type of thing. Yeah.
What feels better? Ori in the Blind Forest or fucking
That's Titanfall.
sliding?
Titanfall's
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
good.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So
So in that regard, like parkour does like the slides, the
I see it as sliding,
wall running.
wall hopping, vaulting,
clamoring.
clambering, sliding through legs, kind of climbing up real quick,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Grabbing onto a ledge, pulling yourself up, right? Because you're like running up a wall, right?
Yeah.
That's very parkour.
So how much do you like? So for me, mini maps are hit or
And
miss.
parkour.
Oh,
can,
sorry. Yep.
Sorry. sorry.
Go back.
Parkour can add a combat element into it as well.
Sure.
So can double jump, but
Yeah.
double jump's more iconic.
Right, which is why I thought that was kind of what.
That is where I was coming from.
Yeah.
But if we're kind of merging into like what the best version, what feels the best, like
Right.
obviously parkour feels way better than double jump.
Sure. All right.
I don't know. It's just me. Like, do you agree or disagree? Is that blasphemous?
I'm with you.
Okay.
We've done worse.
Have we done worse?
We've snubbed
What's
worse
the worst
things.
thing we ever did?
I would have to think. I don't know.
We should do a top 5 worst list. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think when you're talking about mechanics, and maybe we went about this the wrong way to start, but
Yeah.
like, I'm sure this is a very empty list compared to like all the mechanics of all the different things. Like,
Yeah,
this is like we had a
broad,
strict,
but yeah, it's broad strokes for sure.
I think whenever we do like, hey, what do we hate in video?
Yeah,
Top 5 things we hate in video games.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put parkour on. We'll take multiple jump off, which means iframes, slow down, parry, and minimap. For me, minimap, I could take or leave.
Okay.
It's useful.
fair, that's
Do I
fair.
think that you need a minimap? I mean, like in all honesty, a lot of the rank stuff and a lot of the like SWAT and stuff on like Halo
Right.
and things, they don't even have a
Hardcore.
minimap.
Yeah. If you want to be more immersed, you get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, we can take it off.
All right.
So what do you want? Parry, iframes.
That's tough. That is a tough thing.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm leaning towards iframes. I like the skill of the parry, but it's very similar. But again, it's the movement. You're repositioning. You're diving out of the way. I think it's a little bit cooler than parrying itself. And I think there's more applications for it. I think there's more games where you're rolling, or dodging,
Or like zipping past like
past,
something. Yeah.
More movement. There's more applications to an iframe than in like a fighting game too. I'm sure there's invincibility frames.
I guess on one hand, the mechanic is more useful. I will give you that.
Right.
But when you see what feels better, to me, if you're dodging or zipping by something, I see that as almost like a weakness. Not a weakness, but it's like you're dodging it because you can't withstand that thing. But if you're parrying and you're like,
Taking it.
no, I see you.
Yeah.
And I said, not today. And it's Batman. Because like Batman can just keep leaping over people, right?
Yeah.
But
Which is
no,
parkour.
like how many times did you play Arkham Knight or
Yeah.
City or Asylum
Yeah.
or whatever, and there's one guy left,
Yeah.
and you could run over, you could punch him in the face, or you can stand there like freaking Batman. Maybe you'll turn your back to him and you'll wait until those lightning bolts go above his head, and you just grab his arm and just break it in half and kick his legs and throw him against the wall. You're just like, yeah, I
It's
parried
like
that.
Assassin's Creed. I love they run up at you,
Yeah.
parry the sword, stab him in the
Yep,
chest.
and it
like,
feels good. And if
feels
you get that
great.
sound cue too. So for
Yes,
instance,
yeah.
a good example of that is Young Souls, which we're going to end up playing, or at least try it out, right?
Sure.
Young Souls has a parry feature where as long as it's a classic, if you block at the right time,
Yeah.
it knocks them back and you hear the sound and they go in slow motion, you follow up with a bunch of stuff.
Right.
To me, that feels way better than, or you could duck under them and like roll through them.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, but you're still like, they'll just turn and start attacking you again.
Yeah.
That's my take. If you feel strongly about,
No, I think that's a good take. I'm willing to go the parry route with you.
Yeah.
It's just little dude, Shadow War. It feels great to just fucking parrying all these people and then executing them. And
if it's done good. Again, it's the best version of it. So
fluid,
like, it's,
yeah.
All right, I know we're running late, so
parry over.
It would be over slowdown and iframes.
I think that's the way to go. I think slowdown's extremely cool. Might be one of the coolest mechanics.
Yeah,
but parry is just badass, like you said.
I feel like if you're going by feels good, parry to me is better than even like the slowdown.
Awesome,
honestly.
Has a great result. Yeah,
slowdown is usually I'm in the thick of it. Oh my gosh, thank you. I have a breather.
I can calculate, which is also like very cool, very useful, very everything. But
I mean, what is it? Not killer. I was gonna say Killer Instinct. What's the zombie one that's like you just literally are just mowing down zombies? Killing floor. I think. Yeah. Where you get into that like slow-mo version where it's like, it's cool, whatever.
Well, I was playing Shadow War, and you were watching me play.
Yeah.
And like I kill this guy, and then these guys run up behind me. I just freeze time, turn around, 3 headshots, like GG. Like you're just like, this game's awesome.
It just looks so cool.
Feels great. You're such a badass. Yeah. But whatever.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
So we have 5. It's grappling hook, fast travel, parry, decision trees, and parkour. What do you think number 5 is?
Well, obviously, you want it to either be decision trees or fast travel.
Yes, sir. You can see, like, a lot of mine is movement. It's the video game and stuff like that. Like
fluidity. Fast travel 5.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just love decision trees.
No, I know you do.
It's very selfish.
I want to be.
I know decision trees aren't the best mechanic of all time, but it's the best version. So when you feel like your choices matter.
Yeah.
You can do things if you're doing the right things, if you have the right skills, you can unlock things that normally you can't. Mm-hmm. You can talk your way out of something like a Fallout where you can beat the final boss if you have enough speech. That feels amazing.
Yeah.
You feel incredible. I don't care who you are. Everyone's had that feeling. It's just so good, man. It's so good. I skipped a boss fight because I can talk my way out of it. Great. Done.
That's a solid mechanic. It's a good option.
With that being said, is that going to be number 4?
Is that going to be number 4?
Yeah, decision trees.
What would you want number 4 instead of that?
What is left? We have
parkour, parry, and grappling hook. I know you're not big on grappling hook.
It's either that or grappling hook, yeah.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Because you're really big on grappling?
I really like the grappling hook. I think the grappling hook feels very, very good.
It does. To me...
But we're coming at it from two so
We're
different
very,
areas.
very, very opposite here.
Are those the two things like we feel pretty strong about parry and parkour?
Yeah, I mean, it feels so good. When it's done right, those two feel very good.
So parkour wouldn't be like a 4?
No.
All right.
We can do decision trees 4, and then you want parkour 3.
Let me see what this looks like. I just want to move some stuff around.
Okay.
Just move it around.
See if it looks right to you. Or not.
I just want to see how I feel when I see it.
I got you.
If I put grappling hook at 4,
right?
Oh boy, I'm just trying to think of a bad grappling hook experience.
Hey, look, as always, passion wins.
Yeah,
and
I think you have more passion for decision trees than I do for grappling hooks.
Yeah, but Tyler never has passion. So when I do see passion out of Tyler, I have to respect it.
I'm not. Look, I'll have passion.
If you're literally like, I've never seen a bad grappling hook, it's like, well, I've seen very bad decision trees.
Yeah, but we're also taking the best versions of those, so it's a hard thing to even say that.
A good grappling hook's very fun. And grappling hook, I'll be honest, the reason you get me the grappling hook is because of web slinging. Like, web slinging is probably my favorite.
Do you think that's a reach? Because I was trying to loop them all together.
It's a line
that has
that
physics
propels you
in some way. Either you jet to it or you swing.
It's not you don't propel yourself to it, but you use it as a, what would you call that?
Like a swing.
Swing, yes.
Momentum or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. It's absolutely a grappling hook.
Yeah.
You propel it out, it attaches to something, and then you move.
Yep.
In a different way, I think that is my favorite method of traversal in any game.
Yeah, I would say that.
I just think it is. Decision trees 4. I'm good. I'm good with that.
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll be selfish here. I'm really trying to be like, I could, but like I'm looking at it. I'm
I know you don't want it higher.
But we do have 3
I got it on the list
that are pretty.
I think a lot of people would disagree with decision trees, but it's very selfish. Like I just think.
But everything else we have on there is very like movement based or like.
Yeah, it's a me thing. It's like you have decisions in games. Like that's one of my favorite things. Mm-hmm. Like absolutely.
No, I think that's valid.
And I think it's like very good. Like I think some games are predicated off the fact that you have choice. All right, what are you thinking? These are all kind of Tyler's area now.
We have parry and parkour then.
Oh, you want grappling 3?
Oh, I just assumed that would be the next.
We're in your realm now, man. I mean, we're like, what are you thinking?
No.
What are you thinking here?
For number 3, personally, I would put parkour.
Over parry. I think I'd put parry over parkour number 3. If it's between those two.
All right. So grappling hook went from number 4 to number 1?
No, I think
I could easily.
I'm trying to think. I think I'd have Wait, what did I just say?
You said parry over parkour. So
wait. So
let me put it this way.
Okay.
Out of parkour, grappling hook, and parry is your least favorite of those 3.
Yes. Good parkour feels amazing.
Yeah.
It feels like you're just fluid, you're moving through things.
But is it as good as a grappling hook? Is my question. Like, yeah, you're fluid, you're moving through things, but you're still grounded, you're still running on stuff. Fuck. So, like, you look at Dying Light and you're running and you're jumping on things and, like, yeah, that's cool. Or even if you're wall running.
I was going to say, like, I like parkour because there's a combat aspect, but, like, grappling hooks, like, in Halo is, like, an awesome combat aspect.
Like, look at, and
I love being able to grapple onto an elite and then just punch him in the face and now you're in the it feels
And,
good.
like, think about Titanfall where... Okay, you're running on walls, which is cool. You might be shooting at guys and stuff. But the real cool thing is when you're leaping off that wall and now you're grappling hook to a mech to take the mech out. Oh.
Grappling hook onto a banshee and just take it. Yeah. Grappling a weapon's actually one of my favorite.
Yeah.
There's like a badge in Halo where it's you grapple a weapon and immediately kill someone. You just like grab a sniper, headshot someone, no scope. Like that's the best feeling in the world. All right, you're convincing me slowly here.
So we're
saying parry 3.
Tell you what.
Parkour 2.
Tell you what.
Okay.
If you want to put parry at number 4, we put decision trees at 3. Parkour.
Wait, what is happening?
I know parkour.
I literally gave you the story.
I know. I'm trying to.
I'm good. I am happy with decision trees being on the list.
Yeah, but you are more passionate about it than I am about parrying. So in my logic,
parries are very cool.
They are. I think they feel very good.
Yeah, I do too.
I might, but like my whole thing is, well, actually, I can't even say that. I'm trying to do this because you have more passion for it than I do with parry.
No, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
All right.
I can admit when it's very selfish.
Yeah, but so is parrying.
Yeah, but I think more people would feel that, not that more people matter. I'm just saying like more people would agree that like parrying has been better utilized in games and like the best parrying system feels just very good.
I like Batman. You could put
like
40 hours in over 3-4 games too, and it still feels fun.
Batman feels really good when you parry. Break someone's arm.
All right, so then we're saying parry at number 3, parkour at 2.
Yep.
And the grappling sneaks up to number 1.
You convinced me, man. I just want to grapple around now.
All right, so
the thing that gets me is you include web slinging, which is. According to our definition, it is part of the grappling hook umbrella.
If I said we're splitting web slinging out and do its own thing, would you take grappling hook off and put web slinging on?
That's tough because it's because it's a combo deal. It's because it's a combo deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's pissed at that, but
why?
that we comboed it? I think it makes sense.
It absolutely does. You're shooting a line out. It attaches to something and then you move.
Yeah, either to the attach point.
It doesn't matter if you're moving to the attach point or you're swinging. Like, because I would consider what's a game where like you shoot a rope out and then you swing. I guess there's a lot of games like that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what I was talking about with Flint Hook. It literally is like you're hooking it and then you're just swinging.
Yeah, but there's like I can't fucking remember. Is that an Uncharted where you do that? You throw a rope out and then you swing across. Yep. Like that's a fucking grappling hook as far as I'm concerned.
I feel that gets you like. It's more fun because it's not
mechanic.
Just you're on the ground.
Exactly.
It's I'm literally in midair and I can I got you.
Being able to affect things in midair feels really good. Yeah.
All right.
I'm down, dude. I mean, maybe a lot of people disagree with that, but I'm sorry. To me, it's the same umbrella.
All right. Which means chiseling this in stone.
There it is.
Number 5 is fast travel. Number 4 is decision trees. Number 3 is parrying.
Yep.
Number 2 is parkour, and number 1, best game mechanic is the grappling hook. /web
You really made out on this one, man.
I really did.
Good job.
I was banking it for the past couple of weeks.
This is a Couch Co list. Hey, what's the best video game mechanic of all time? Grappling hook. Hey, man, it's fun. Every time there's
Tell me about grappling hook. I don't know.
Every time there's a grappling hook in a game, it makes the game better.
Yeah.
And isn't that what the best mechanic does? It just, in its inclusion, makes it better.
Look, if you're telling me whenever somebody was talking about Halo for the first time, they're like, oh yeah, there's a grappling hook in Halo.
Yeah.
You really think somebody's like, oh, that's going to make it really good? No, I'm sure people were like, I don't want a grappling hook in my Halo game.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I'm sure there were people out like, and then I'm sure the people, well, actually, I'm sure there are people that still don't want it.
I would be surprised. Like, it's got to be
so
small.
much fun.
It's just fun.
It's too fun.
It's a fucking video game, man.
Yeah.
What is video games trying to do? We're trying to have fun. Grappling hooks are fun.
Decision trees.
AKA. I like making decisions.
No, it's fine. That's good. It's good. I just thought it was funny where like
fuck off.
Oh man.
All right, there it is.
That's it.
We went way over.
A brief 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, fuck that. Thanks for listening. If for some reason you made it this far, we appreciate it. Check us out on Twitter. We're doing polls. We did 3 last week.
Yeah.
We'll probably do 3 again.
Maybe we do a poll. Is that too many polls?
Do we need to cut
back our polls?
Are we doing too many polls? I like polls.
Polls are fun.
I like gauging the audience. I like hearing from those guys. So, and girls. Thanks for listening to us. Check us out on Twitter at CouchCo Games.
Yep.
Check us out on couchcompany.games. That has all our links. That's really where you should go. We got our lists on there. We got our Steam curator on there. We got our podcasts on there and our ratings.
Podcast,
check
YouTube,
it out.
Everything.
Tyler actually does a great job putting those together with the images, and he doesn't have the quips on there anymore. I'm trying to get those. Convince him to add those back. Because those were my favorite, the little quips. But yeah, we'll be here same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us on the couch.